Positive energy all the time. We are here. A brother asked me how to attract women. And I had to think about that while I was getting ready to do this next live because I do know that some men, they go out to attract women. I've never done that before. So uh, I'm just going to talk about what I think over the whole overall subject because I've never I've never thought about attracting women. Uh, I really had to think deep on that because it never was like my mindset. I never had that mindset to attract women. But I do know some men do function like that. They spray on a cologne that they think a women will like. They dress a way they think women will like. They like to maybe exercise or work out their body or certain things the way women would like. Um, I never, me personally, I never ever consciously thought about attracting women. I just lived my life, and when I meet women. But I never get up. I've never woke up. I've never dressed. I've never bought a car. I never bought any jewelry. I've never bought anything to attract women. So I had to think about that because I've never done it. I've been with a lot of women, but I did not go out to be with them. I did not move in a way to be with women. I never bought an outfit I thought women would like. I always bought clothes I liked. You know what I'm saying? I always bought clothes I liked. Why not? Because to me that's feminine. That's not masculine. You know, for me that's feminine. Also, it's weird because most of the men I know that's trying to attract women, they never have a woman. They can't stand a relationship because they never stop attracting women and they just run from woman to woman to woman to woman to woman. I be in long relationships, so when you got a wife, you ain't trying to attract no other woman. But I never bought no clothes for no woman gonna like because a woman don't know what a man need to have, what a man's supposed to wear. How's a woman supposed to know what I'm supposed to wear? I'm the only one know what I'm supposed to wear. A woman can't don't determine what I'm supposed to wear. I'm not buying no clothes. I'm not wearing nothing that a woman gonna like. That's out the question. Everything I buy, I like it. When I buy some shoes, I think they fly. If I buy a jacket, I think it's fly. You understand? Period. Because to me, a professional woman attractor ain't necessarily no good man. Because what kind of man? I ain't no peacock, right? So I ain't never went around doing nothing to attract no damn woman. That's just out the question. That to me, that's feminine. Like that's not even no G. That ain't even no G right there. You know what I'm saying? When I put on clothes, I'm putting them on for me. I'm dressing for me. I'm going when I buy something. I'm not buying. I'm not thinking about no woman when I buy some clothes. Period. I'm not gonna buy. I'm gonna buy a car I like that I want to drive. I'm not gonna buy no car because no woman want to get in the car. That sounds crazy. That don't even make no sense. Because when a woman see you dress or see you, she not gonna like you thinking you did that for her anyway. She just like your taste you got for yourself. She like the way you put yourself together for you. That's what a woman, if she like you, she like your taste, your own taste. If you buying it for somebody else, that's not your taste. You don't got no taste. So that's why that kind of confused me. So I just talked to a woman and she said, "Yeah, we don't not looking for no man that dress for us. We looking for a man that know how to put himself together." I just got off the phone with a woman to make sure I was on point. 'Cause I had to ask somebody. Because the only man that I know that dress for attention is gay men. They're the only ones dressed for attention. Well, how to court a woman, yeah, that would make a good conversation. We're gonna get to that. But as far as me going and seeing a jacket and saying if I put this jacket on, the women gonna like this jacket, I ain't never I ain't never bought no clothes. I have never bought no clothes. Or I've never bought nothing for women. Nothing. As a matter of fact, if I got a wife and I take her shopping, I don't have her buy nothing I like. I don't, I don't, I don't have her buy nothing that I want to see her in. I have her buy whatever she like. I don't be like, buy this, I want to see you in this. Even when it's lingerie and shit, I let her pick it out. She pick what she want, what she think is that gonna be what she want to put on, and then I rock and roll with it. Whatever it is, whatever lingerie she buy, I don't care. I'm trying to take that shit off anyway. I'm like naked, so all that stuff just in the way anyway. Let's get straight to the beat. You know what I mean? Okay. But I had to think about that. It's like attract women, attract women. I'm like, had to think about it. And I thought about a couple of dudes that I know that like do everything like that, and they be weirdos. They be weirdos. You know what I mean? The pimps be dressing like peacocks. Well, not all of them. That's them old pimps. You got gorilla pimps. You got pimps dressed regular. You got pimps that got on a black t-shirt, black pants, a whole bunch of jewelry. You got all kind of pimps. Yeah, you got pimps. You got all kind of pimps. But those pimps like that, you know, they be trying to dress like what they call players. They trying to be uh, extravagant. They do that on purpose. So they do that on purpose. They have to be very extravagant, stand out in the crowd. You want to be able to walk in somewhere and nobody look like you. You want to have on the purple hat, the purple jacket, the purple feather, the jewelry, the big old Eiffel Tower ring. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes you attractive but you're attractive to everybody. You want everybody to pay you attention. You know what I'm saying? So that's like a whole psychological thing behind that. You know what I'm saying? But I had to think about that in terms of attracting women, and I was just trying to think like I was trying to think if I ever had that mindset, if I ever had that mindset that oh the women gonna like this. No, I like to dress the way I dress, and then whatever woman like me like that, that's the woman for me. I don't want a woman to like me because I got on something that I wouldn't regularly wear just for her to like me. That gets most likely if I dress for women, I wouldn't be a good husband. I'd be just some weirdo that just got women issues. You have men that have women issues and they just gotta constantly sleep with a different woman. They believe the more women they with is some type of I don't know what they think that is, but they think that that's doing something. So you have men that think that his car, his clothes, his jewelry, how many women, they actually believe that's something worthwhile in life, which is really not. It's an illusion. But some people, some men, they think that's life. If they're doing that, they think they're what you call accomplished. That's some type of mental problem. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna talk about it. Like I started going to these fancy parties when I got out of high school. I was always wearing tailor-made clothes. I'd go to the thrift store and buy jackets and get them redesigned. You know, buy some nice jackets for 50 cents, 75 cents. Then I would take them to my tailor, have my tailor sew some velvet on them, change the buttons or whatever to make it look like a tailor-made jacket. I pay him $15. I paid maybe $2 for the jacket. So for $17, I got like a $400 jacket. Because I started doing that because I had got a job down at the stock exchange downtown. And anybody that works in the office know you've never needed more clothes in your life than if you work in the office. Oh my God. Your clothing expense is through the roof because you can't go in this office with these people with the same clothes on every day. So you have to spend a lot of money on wardrobe when you work in an office space. I mean, a lot. So I learned how to mix my tailor made clothes with clothes I got custom from the thrift store. Am Vets, we used to go to Am Vets, which is like a Salvation Army store. I don't know if they still got Am Vets around. We used to go to Am Vets and get Brooks Brothers jackets, real expensive stuff that, you know, the wife threw out her husband's really expensive clothes. I would take them and take them to the tailor, get them altered. But I'm saying all that to say, I never had no woman. I never was thinking about no woman. I've always liked fashion, and I always was thought how I would like it. I always buy my clothes or dress a way I like. I've never thought about dressing to attract a woman. Then I don't have much experience with uh, meeting women. I do have some in Hawaii, but I've been in long relationships. My relationships be a long time. You know, when I get in a relationship, they be long relationships. You know, so I'm not really dating or meeting women. I already have a wife, you know. I've always had a queen. This is the first time I haven't had uh, a woman right with me all the time like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm 67 now, so I'm not, I'm not really going on the dating scene right now. I could, but I would, I would be a, I would be a good pick out there because there's, so the elderly women, it's a lot of women 50, 60, 70s, they don't got nobody. So if I show up to the event they at, you know, I would have a nice group of women to choose from. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of beautiful older women out here. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, uh, there's a lot of beautiful women, but I've never dressed for a woman, you know? I have just, the women I've been with, I just met them by coincidence. And you mostly build a relationship basically communicating and like dating. And you kind of like build a relationship. I've never, uh, no, I'm not really slacking on my Mac because I've never really been Macking. You know what I'm saying? My last relationship was like 20 years. So I never was a Mac. So I never was a Mac. You know what I'm saying, Jr. I've never been a Mac my whole life. I've always met a woman, been in a relationship, and most of my life been concentrating on making money. My life has never been concentrated on women. My life was always concentrated on making money, paying the bills. My whole life has been about money, going to work, running a business. That's it. I've never had a uh, talk to women life. And the most women I was with was a brief period in Hawaii. I've been with a lot of women, but it was a brief period in Hawaii, and they was coming to me. They was just there. You're just on beaches. It's a different setting. You're on a vacation spot. So that's a different setting than like a city like Chicago, where people on vacation, but they in some hotels or something. When you're in Hawaii, the whole place is a vacation spot. So all the women driving around you, all the women getting out there, everybody's, is mostly tourists and vacation. So that's a totally different scenario to hook up with women. Is totally different. And having dreadlocks back then, Rasta with the long dreadlocks. So women would just be there and things would just happen. And you would just end up, sleeping with all these different women. But it wasn't like I didn't grow no dreadlocks to attract no women. You know, I didn't do anything to attract no women. They be attracted on their own, but you still got to pull them. You know what I mean? You still got to pull them, even if she right there. You the one got to pull her in. No woman's just going. So you still got to talk to them. At the end of the day, I ain't never slept with no woman that I didn't talk up on that. Even if they might have liked me, you still got to talk your talk. So there's no, oh, she just so attractive. She just gonna come to you and say, hi, what's your name? Can I come? That's not gonna work like that typically. You're gonna still have to say what you're gonna say. There's a lot of attractive men. There's a lot of attractive women. So you ain't the only one. Now some men do, you know, if You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to teach you how to attract women, I never did it, but it's simple. All you have to do is get a very nice car and some nice jewelry. That's it. You can have on a t-shirt and some Dickies. But if you got a big lot of chains on and a lot of diamond rings and stuff, they gonna go. They like jewelry and cars. If you got a nice car, that's all you need. Nice car and jewelry. But you still, you got to still be. You got to know what to do. You got to know how to talk. But I mean, if you got a nice car, they'll try to jump in while it's moving. I mean, you got a nice car, some jewelry. You could just pull up on the street and say a beautiful one on the street, and roll your window, say, "Hey, come here," and she gonna come. She gonna come right to the car, and she gonna get in. She gonna go do whatever too. She might be married to anything. I experienced that. But they was attracted to the cars and the jewelry, but I didn't buy the car for them or the jewelry. So that's what the part throwing me off. I had the jewelry, I had the car, but I didn't have none of that stuff to attract women. I had it because I liked it. I liked the car, I liked the truck, I liked the jewelry. I bought the jewelry I liked. I never thought about, oh, if I buy this jewelry, if I buy this car. I never thought about that. It just happened after the fact of the matter. You know what I'm saying? That just happens after the fact of the matter. So if I wanted to get women's attention, I would just go take my money, buy me some white gold and stuff, take my silver, I'll put on some white gold. And I could keep dressing the way I dress and just have a nice car and just go to the spots where the women is at and pull one. But I mean, it's one thing to pull a woman, it's another thing to have a good relationship. And just because a woman like you got on all this stuff, that don't mean this is a woman that no relationship gonna work out for. This could just be a gold digger. This could be somebody trying to see what they trying to get out of you. So when you say attract women for what? You know what I'm saying? Because if you just attract, are you looking for a queen or are you just trying to be attractive to a lot of women? You know what I'm saying? How old are you, Big Burnett? How old are you? So you looking for a woman with no children. Well, you 41 and you're looking for a woman with no children. And it's kind of like at your age, at 41, and you don't have no children, then you kind of put yourself in a situation where some of them women they could have been had your child and you didn't really put yourself in the mix to have no children for some reason. And so for you looking for a woman don't got no child, you're gonna have to get a woman in her 20s. You got to get a woman 18, 19, 20, 21. Because you're not gonna find no woman with no children. If you find a woman with no children, she's gonna have to be very young or either have something wrong with her where she can't have children. But I can't see you at 41 finding somebody in their late 30s or so without no children. That's going to be almost impossible. And then if she don't got no children, it's going to be something wrong with her. Because why she ain't got no children? That's unnatural. Now, when you start talking about a relationship, then that's where you got a problem at, because what are you looking for? Are you looking for love? Or are you looking for some type of social setup? Because there could be a woman with two children that really will love you. And then there could be a woman with no children that won't necessarily love you. So then the question is, what are you looking for? Are you looking for love or what? Because love is not going to be based on how many children she got or not. She can have two children. She can have a child. And she could be a great wife. So having children, so that has nothing to do with love. So the fact you don't want to have no children, you're not really looking for love. You're looking for some type of social relationship. You're not looking for love. You know, you're not looking for love. You're looking for like some kind of perfect setup type. There's you've got all these issues, all these checkpoints, which is too much, which that don't equal love. How you gonna find love? Just because she ain't got no children gonna mean she gonna be no good woman though. I mean, my last relationship lasted like 22 years, something like that. She had three children when I met her. Then I had my daughter. It was great. Ain't had no problem with it. They're my stepchildren. It was cool. Ain't had no problem with it. We loved each other. That's all that mattered, really. The amount of children she had, what the hell that got to do with anything? Didn't bother me none. She was working. She was making money. It wasn't like she didn't have no money to take care of her own children. She was already taking care of them. So it wasn't no extra burden on me or nothing like that. You're looking for love and you want to have children, but children that have kids don't want more children. Uh, that's not true. That's not true at all. If you get with a woman that's got two children and you start dating her, she gonna tell you she don't want no children. If you keep dating her and she fall heavily in love with you, she gonna have your baby. Cause my last daughter, her mama didn't want to have no more children. She already had three. She didn't want to have no children at first. Well, she had it. So yeah, they will. They just, of course, they're gonna tell you that if the relationship not strong. But if the relationship is strong and she really love you, she gonna have that baby. She gonna get pregnant. She gonna have that baby. But not right when you first meet her and you start talking about do she want to have kids, you're gonna freak her out. That's something you never talk about. I never got with a woman and started talking about having kids. We was just having sex and she just got pregnant. I let it all happen naturally. So Big Barnett, when you get in a relationship, you just gotta have sex and let the kids come naturally. You can't. But as far as you finding somebody that don't have no kids and then wanting to have a child by you, you're gonna have to date younger women. You're gonna have to date women 20 years younger than you. You got to date a 21-year-old, something like that. Because you ain't going to find hardly no 30-year-old ain't got no children. Unless something wrong with her womb, like she can't have no babies. I mean, I don't know where you're going to find that at. Because people having sex and sex makes babies. So you're going to have to date much younger. But see, that's when it get crazy because, yes, she 20 something. She ain't got no kids, but is she the woman for you? That don't make her gonna be the woman for you. Is maybe a woman got a child already is the woman for you. That already got a baby. Because if you look at a woman with two children, she in her 30s, she got two children. If you look at her as a defect, you a defect though too, because you 41 with no children. So you're not. You wouldn't necessarily be the ideal man at that age with no children. You show lack of responsibility as far as you ain't had no babies to take care of. You ain't been no father all these years. A woman would have the right to look at that too. How you 41? You ain't got no children nowhere. What you been doing? So you would be stranger. They'll be normal. Meeting a woman in her 30s with two children is more normal than you. You 41 with no children. She's taking a gamble with you. You might have relationship issues. You might not can't stand a relationship. You might got issues. How you 41? You ain't got nobody pregnant yet. What is that all about? How you what? There's something psychological about that you've been dealing with. You've been just using birth control all these years with every woman. You ain't met no good woman that you're willing to get pregnant. And now it's a situation where you're desperate. You know what I'm saying? And you're looking for somebody to have a baby now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Think about it. You 41. I got a lot of brothers over here like that. They in their 40s, they ain't got no children. And they think that that's nothing is normal about that. That's not normal. A man's supposed to be having babies in his young 20s. 21, 20, 21, 22. He's supposed to have babies already. In a natural, if you live it naturally, anything other than that is something unnatural. I couldn't imagine sleeping with women until I was 41 and I ain't got no children. I got six children. And when it comes to having children, you don't need the perfect situation. You just need the children. At the end of the day, no matter what the situation is, when all your children is grown, I'm not saying you desperate. You saying you want what you want, but what you want at 41, it don't make sense. What you wanted, you would have had to get in your 20s. If you want a woman with no children, your best odds to have that is going to be in your 20s or your younger 30s. What's the odds? How is you going to find a woman when you 41 that ain't got no children when these women been out here having sex all them years? All the women you look at, they been fucking. So where you going to find a woman that's been having sex that's 30 years old that ain't got no baby? And how you going to find one that ain't nothing wrong with them? Because the average woman that don't have no babies till they like 30 and stuff like that, it's something wrong with them unless they went to college. Like if they went to medical school to be a doctor or something like that, where they could make up for all them years. Like, oh, I was in college all them years. But some women that ain't been in college all the years and then they got no babies, most likely a woman ain't got no baby ain't gonna want to have yours, depending on her age. So the only woman you're gonna be able to find, you're gonna have to be like 25. You might be able to find one 25, 26, 27, somewhere in there. But they're gonna have to be in their 20s. I don't think you're gonna find no woman in her 30s with no babies that's gonna be willing to have one. I don't think you're gonna be able to do that. But the problem too is like brothers. I know brothers. They want to have a woman, and then they want to have a woman that don't have no children. Now then, imagine you get with a woman showing no children. You get her pregnant. She have a son. Y'all stay together 4 or 5 years. Then y'all break up. You telling me that because she got your son, no other man should step in and date her because she got your son? That don't sound right. So a man look at her like, no, I don't want to date her. She already got a kid. I want one with no kids. So he can't love her because she got your son. That don't sound right. What do love got to do with whether you got a child or not? What if it's a woman got a child and the daddy passed away? She don't deserve to have a new man because she had a child already. She don't deserve you to be a man and come in there and take care of her and have another baby. You wouldn't take care of the little boy. You wouldn't take care of the kid. Okay, that's some levels of selfishness right there. You don't want to take care of no other kid. It's only got to be yours. So then that's a form of selfishness. So now what other kind of selfishness you got that would make the relationship not really go so swell? Would you be too self-centered for a relationship with a woman? Because I know a lot of the brothers talking about that. I don't raise no other person's kids. That's wild. That's totally being misguided. Then that's not love. So if you're looking for a relationship, it's probably gonna fail. If you're looking for love, what kind of stipulations can you put on love? That's where you confuse me at. If you're looking for love ain't gonna necessarily have those stipulations. A woman that's gonna love you might have a child. So now, just because she don't have a child, don't mean she gonna love you, and that's where I'm confused at. Because just because she ain't got no kids, don't mean she gonna love you or be no good woman. Yeah, that's it. Do you want a good woman? And if she got 2 children, but she a good woman, what you gonna do? Would you pass up for a woman with no children that ain't no good woman? Because love don't got all them stipulations. You see what I'm saying, bro? Love ain't, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot you asking for. But I don't agree with passing up no good woman because she got no children. But I do agree with seeing the relationship with the children. Is the baby daddy around a lot? Is it 2 different baby daddies? Are they around a lot? Or is she pretty much just solo by herself with these children? Because if she pretty much solo by herself with these children, and then we hanging out and I love her, I'll come in there and I'll help her with the children. If we friends like that, if we mates like that, her problem becomes my problem. So me, I'm a little different. If I meet a woman and I like a woman, then I take everything and go with that. Whatever come with the package. I just sent my stepdaughter some money. She don't never ask for nothing, but she probably was in a situation. I sent her some money. I have no regrets with my stepchildren. I love them just like I love my children. You know what I'm saying? When you live in a house or you live in an apartment or a house, wherever you live, and it's you and a woman and some children, it's a tribe, man. And it's beautiful. You want a woman to experience that being her first baby with you, I guess. You might eventually find that. What's taking so long? That's the part you got to look at. How's that working? How long you gonna wait till you 50? Whatever that. Okay, how long you gonna wait? And when you find that no child, I mean, each experience is its own. You don't take experience to the next. You know what I'm saying? You don't take this woman's experience to this one. A lot of people, Big Barnett, one reason they don't make good mates because they got baggage. They got emotional baggage, and they bring that to the new relationship. Whatever you experience with one woman, that ain't got nothing to do with another woman. That was just that one woman. You picked that woman. You didn't do a good job to see how she was dealing with the children. That was all your fault. You could have found a woman with some good children. You didn't vet the situation. They was bad before you kept sleeping with her. So that was you. That you had that. You picked that bad experience. You picked that particular woman with them particular children. That ain't got nothing to do with another woman with some other children. You can't stereotype that everybody's gonna have bad children. You might as well be a white person then and stereotype all black people. If you're gonna if you're gonna take a situation with one woman and her children and apply that to every woman you meet with children, then you got baggage. You might got mental issues. You might not be no good in no relationship because you carrying shit. But that ain't no reason for the next woman because the last woman had some bad children. When you put the word bad on there, it's like, okay, every woman you met with children, the children was bad. Because every woman with children, the children ain't bad. When you get with a woman with children, the first thing you do is you make sure she disciplines the children. That's the first thing you do, brothers and men. When you get with a woman with children, the first thing you look for is if she's standing on them. You don't get in a relationship where she ain't standing on them, and then you got to come in there and stand on them, and then it's gonna be her and the children against you. No, you get with a woman that don't play with her children and got her children in order. That's what you look for. If she got children, you make sure that the children is disciplined and that mommy don't play with them. So now when you come in a relationship, you don't got that job. You don't have that extra job. You can be the same backup you're gonna be with your children because when I'm in a relationship with my woman and my woman have two children, mommy don't play with the children, right? So if I'm in a relationship with a woman, my woman, if you have your own children by a woman, they mommy not gonna play with them, even your own kids, right? You're not gonna let their mama let them get away with shit. So you're not gonna have two children by a woman that don't discipline the children. So why would you get with a woman that ain't got your children that don't discipline them? You don't want no woman that don't discipline the children, even your children. You don't even want to have children by no woman that ain't gonna make these kids sit down. So why would you date a woman that ain't gonna make the kids sit down? So there's no difference. If she gonna make the kids sit down and she didn't have no kids and have mine and she gonna make the kids sit down, then the kids ain't gonna be no problem. Cause she gonna make them sit down. And she got two kids And then she probably gonna have two more. She gonna have them two. She gonna have mine two, and they're gonna be brothers and sisters. It's gonna be all good. It's gonna be all love. It's gonna look beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. I got no problem with it. But you have to see the situation. Is a deadbeat daddy coming around, or what the situation? You have to look at the total situation to find out if this is gonna be a relationship. But I'm definitely not gonna say that there ain't no beautiful women out here with children that make great wives and can have babies. That's a fact. Just because she got a baby, there'd be some winners. You passing up on some winners. It's some winners out here that had babies. That is a fact. That's a fact. So I'm not gonna stereotype like she got a baby. No, it's some real winners that got children. There's some winners out here raising her son by herself. She got a corporate job. She making money. Her son is a fine boy, and I wouldn't have no problem being his stepfather and giving him a little brother and a little sister. So we not. I'm not gonna do. I can't agree with that other part, Big Barney. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't agree with that part. You know what I'm saying? Especially you 41, and you making demands, but you ain't been on being no daddy. And you coming late trying to make demands. You're gonna be 50 in a minute. You're gonna be 50 with no children. And then you making these demands, but who want a 50-year-old man ain't got no children, ain't no stable relationship, ain't never been married. So let's say you date my daughter. That's like, oh, who is he? So and so. I was like, oh yeah, how old is he? 41. Okay, how many kids he got? He ain't got none. He ain't got no kids. He ever been married? No. I tell my daughter, there might be something wrong with him. He ain't got no daughters, he ain't got no kids. He 40 what? Mm, you better be careful. That's what, I ain't no disrespect, but that's what I tell my daughter. Oh, it might be something. This nigga might be a deformity. He might, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that's you, because that don't mean that, but I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, you looking down on them if they got a child, but look at yourself. You ain't the perfect catch. Not at 41 with no children, never been married, never been in no serious relationship. 41, shit. I had 5 kids by the time I was 41. There's never no regrets with children. It's always a blessing. Whenever you can have them, however you can have them. If you have children with a woman and y'all don't work out and y'all break up, it's still a beautiful blessing that you had that baby. The relationship is one thing and the children is another thing. But you're doing right. Big Barnett, but you're gonna have to go and try to find what you're looking for, and you might have to go somewhere where that exists at. The problem is, a woman in her 20s gonna look at you as like, oh, so how you gonna get somebody in their 20s to date you? She gonna look at you as old, but some women like older men. But a lot of times, a 20-something-year-old that's gonna like you, she gonna have a baby already. As far as a 20-year-old, somebody in their 20s that would like you, right, and don't have no babies, that's gonna be rare. Unless you got a lot of money or something to entice them, and then that relationship might fail because she with you because of your money or your car or something else. It won't be true love. But to find at 41, you would have to try to find a 40-year-old with no children or a 30-year-old. That's gonna most likely be your range, 33, 35, somewhere in there. Which, how many 35-year-olds ain't got no baby? Because most women, if they that don't have no baby, they probably can't have a baby. They might be gay, or they got like some weird mentality. They're like, I don't want to have no children. I don't want to have no children. Guys don't have no children because them is weirdos. When you find a man, he don't want to have no children, something wrong with him. He got mental issues. Something wrong with him. You say get along with his parents, then he a damn mama's boy or something. Who the fuck want to date a mama's boy? You know what I'm saying? When you're a man and you don't want to have no children and you ain't trying no children, you's a weirdo. Who in the hell don't want to keep their lineage going? How are you from a lineage and you want to be the one to end the lineage? How your daddy brought you in here to keep the lineage going and you don't respect your daddy enough to keep the lineage going? You're going to stop the lineage from your daddy and your granddaddy and your great granddaddy all the way back. All of them made sure they passed the lineage. You come out of all them years, hundreds of years, you come, you want to kill the lineage. You don't want to keep the lineage going. That's these new weirdos. This new weirdo generation. They don't know nothing about lineage, don't know nothing about nothing, don't want to keep the seed alive, don't want to keep the family alive, just selfish weirdos. And then these what women got to deal with because they're going to get 50 years old, then they're going to want to have a baby. They're going to be 40, 50 years old. Now all of a sudden they start panicking. But the whole time they was 20, they was most fertile with 20, it was fertile, ready to go. I don't want to have no baby. I don't want to have no baby. 30, I don't want to have no baby. I don't want to have no baby. And you get 40, 50 years old, now you want to have a baby. You was supposed to have been had some babies. The hell you was waiting on. And see, this is a Babylon system. They teach us we got to wait till everything's perfect before we have children to destroy your lineage. When is everything going to be perfect? I'm goddamn 67. Ain't shit been perfect. When? I wouldn't have had no children if I was waiting for the perfect shit. I would not have had none. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to walk into a family. I mean, you ain't, you know what I'm saying? If you want to build a family, right, and you 41, then you came up with a new idea because you could have been built a family. So why'd you wait 20 years? Because it's been 20 years you could have been built a family to build a family at 41 years old. So you got a new idea you want to do. Because if you had that idea when you were 21, 22, 23, you would have built a family already. So I think it's a great idea, but your timing goes against what you're trying to do. These women is born, everybody be kids. Then everybody's sexual organs start working. When they get to high school, their sexual organs working. Then they get out of high school and bam, you're supposed to start having babies. Your granddaddies never had babies at 14, 15, 16 years old. So the way the body works is you most fertile, ready to have babies in your 20s. You're supposed to be knocking babies out in your 20s. Now, if you're going to get in the Babylon system and let the Babylon system tell, no, don't do nothing natural. Don't be in God's world. Come be in Satan's world. You got to get this degree. You got to get this house. You got to get this car. You got to do all this stuff and put all that stuff over what naturally you was naturally made to do is have babies. You make sperms. You make eggs. This was given to you by God. And then you put what God gave you second, and you put this Babylon shit first. So now you get the car, you get the house, you get everything. But now you can't get to have a baby. Now all the women didn't had babies already in your age group. They've been doing what they supposed to do. They winning. You could go and look, you could be a single man with no children. You could look a woman with two children and say that's not a good position for you, but she in a better position than you because she done brought more life into the world. She got her daughter, she got her son. Her son daddy is here already. Whoever her son daddy is, he done reincarnated. Now you have it because you want to have the car, you want to have everything perfect before you have the baby. So I know you want to have a perfect family, but a perfect family would have started 20 years ago. That's the part I'm confused. You want to have a perfect family at 41 years old. That don't make no sense. You late. Like that's you late. You want to have a perfect family and you 40? You finna be 50 years old. My mom and daddy came from Alabama and had me when they was young. My daddy born in 1931. I was born in 1958. Do the math. 31, 41, 51. My daddy was 26 years old. My mom was like 20 to 23 when they had me. My daddy wasn't no goddamn 40 years old. My daddy and my mama had me and my sister in their 20s, and then they raised the family. Then they got jobs and they paid for the house and they bought the house and they built it from the ground up at the time they were supposed to do it. How my daddy was going to wait and run around out here and meet my mama 20 years later. By then, she would have been with another man and had a baby already. So the idea is you wait for somebody that ain't had no babies way beyond the natural stage and not had no babies don't make no sense. You looking for somebody that don't got no babies that's gonna be way too old not to have no babies. Because women having babies in their 20s. Ain't nobody waiting till they 30 years old to have no babies. Women is having babies in their 20s. By the time they have a baby in their 30s, that's their second or third child. So I respect what you're trying to do. I'm just trying to show you, my brother, you trying to do something unnatural. You done got yourself in an unnatural zone, and what you looking for, that time period didn't pass for you. Unless you get a young 20-year-old woman. You're going to have to date 20 years younger. Maybe 15. 15 years. You go 15, find somebody 15 years longer. That relationship will work, but you're going to have to find somebody 15 years younger that don't have no babies. And you got to do it quick. If you don't do it quick, it's a wrap for you. Once you get 45, it's over. Unless you just find some country girl that'll go with you in her 20s. But once you get 45, now you're going to have to find a woman in her 30s. You're going to have to go to the 30s. So 15 years is the lowest you're going to be able to go if lucky. But you know how hard it's going to be able to find a 30-year-old woman, a fine 30-year-old woman that ain't got no babies? That's going to be like pulling teeth. So let this be a lesson to all of y'all. All that perfect shit, that shit end up being imperfect. Because at the end of the day, Big Barnett, that shit still ain't going to be perfect. You ain't finna have no perfect relationship. You dreaming. You waiting on a dream, bro. Whoever you get with, you still might not stay together. You know what I'm saying? That's why you ask me. One thing, don't y'all get mad at me when y'all ask me. Because one thing is, you might not like what I say, but one thing you're going to respect. I'm going to always tell you the straight facts. So you won't go nowhere and nobody bullshit you. I owe it to this brother to tell him the facts. I don't owe it to him to water it down or tell him it in a nice way. I got to tell him the facts so he be armed with the facts. That, bro, you going to do all that and that relationship still might not be shit. You might as well go over here and knock one of these bad chicks that got a son already and have you a baby. Oh, my son, you better go knock something and have you a baby. I'm telling you. And also, all that you don't want to bring no family in. That's another thing. If you meet a woman Single woman with a son. That's not a family. Hey, bro, if you meet a single woman with a child, that's not a family. It's not a family till you get with her. A family is a mother, father, and the children. So a single woman with children, that is not a family. So when I met my last queen, she had 3 children. She had a set of twins and a boy and her. They were not a family. They was not a family until I came in the situation. She got pregnant with my daughter. Then we was a family. I built a family. They were not a family. They was just a mother with some children. A single father or a single mother, that's not a family. Those are family members, but it's not a family. And so you would be building a family with her if you got with her and you marry her and had a children if she already had a child. What you looking for, brother, is you looking for somebody that loves you, that you love, and that you crazy about. That's all you looking for. And if you love her and she turn you on and you crazy about her, you don't give a fuck if she got 2 children. That's your boo. You got to look for somebody you love, bro. Not all that other shit. You got to look for a woman you love. And all you got to do not to get no trouble is just date them first, just to see. But I wouldn't cancel women with no kids. I wouldn't cancel that. I wouldn't. Stepchildren is cool. If the mama's raising them, stepping on them, stepchildren is cool. They be just like they might as well be yours. You the one raising them. But stepchildren is cool. I don't know what nobody be telling you. But stepchildren is cool. You just got to make sure the mama is standing on them. If the mama's standing on them and you just the mama's backup, stepchildren is a great experience. You just can't be getting emotional over the situation and have another baby. Now, if you got stepchildren and you don't got no baby by her, but once you have a baby by her, those children becomes your child's brothers and sisters. And that's what's going to bond y'all. You understand what I'm telling you, bro? Like you get with a woman, she got a son. You get her pregnant, she have your son. What's the bonding is, your son and that other boy is brothers. That is your son's brother. And then that's where you're going to bond. That's why you're going to like him, because that's your son's brother. It's not your stepson. That's your son's brother. And when you look at it like that, it's a hit different. Because they're going to be brothers forever. Ain't nothing going to stop that. They're going to be brothers forever. So you're going to love your son's brother. Yeah, you're going to love your son's brother, especially if he's looking out for his little brother. You're going to like dude. Dude might love his little brother too. Then that might be the greatest thing. Hey, that might be the greatest thing in that little boy's life. Let me tell you something. When I get with a woman, and let's say she got a boy, and I give her another boy, and I then gave that boy another boy to play with, that little stepson, he gonna love me like I'm his daddy, and all I gotta do is treat him like it's his daddy. And basically, them gonna be my kids. Both of them. I raised a lot of stepchildren. It was always a great experience. Always. For me, it was always a great experience. I never had a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? And I got stepkids I could call right now, and they'll do you. For a lot of them, I was like one of the greatest parts in their life. On my soul. I was doing this for you, Uncrowned, so ask me some questions, bro, because you the one that I was doing this for. What you want to say? See, look at here. You see these boys? Okay, let's go from the tallest. The tallest is my oldest son. The next one, the dark one, that's my stepson, right? The next one to him is the brother of the tallest one. The next one to him is the brother to my two stepsons. The little one is their brother. So the little one is all their brother. The little one is the two light skinned ones brother through me, and there's two darker ones brother through their mama, right? They got different mamas. But they all brothers in the strangest kind of way. Because the two that's not mine, my youngest son is their brother. The two that is mine, of course, my youngest son is their brother. You understand what I'm saying? Now the two dark ones with the pants on like the little one, they in prison right now. You know, they was getting in trouble and stuff. You understand? But they still, if I call them, they gonna ride. Because the best experience they had a really good experience with me raising them, even though it was brief. They knew I showed them love. You know what I'm saying? Because they kids. You know what I'm saying? So this day right here was a day. Every time I see this was a day I made a very horrible mistake this day because I dressed them all up and I took them to the movies and I was trying to be a great father. So I let them get whatever they want. And they all bought these big old sodas. And so I didn't see the movie because I stayed in the bathroom the whole movie because these two got to go. Then they come back. Then this one got to go. Then I come back. Then the other one got to go. Then I come back. Then the other one got to go. Then I come back. Then I start over. The first two got to pee again because they bought these big old sodas. So I just was in the bathroom taking them to pee. I didn't see nothing. I didn't see no movie. I said, my dumb ass, why I let them? I'm thinking, y'all, get whatever you want. You know what I mean? I'm balling with them. Get whatever you want. Get all the candy you want. Get it to drink. I'm not thinking. They happy as hell. They got popcorn. They got big ass drinks. But I'm forgetting, they going to have to pee the whole time. So I stayed in the bathroom. It was a disaster for me. They had a ball. Eating and drinking and peeing and eating and drinking and peeing. But me, I was like, dang, because, the little kids, I got to hold them up because I can't let them touch the urinal. Y'all know this being a father. See, being a father, stepfather, father, whatever kind, is still a father. It's still father stuff. It might be your stepson, but you don't want him to touch the urinal. They babies, they don't know. And the urinal way down there, they don't got baby urinals. They need to have baby urinals. All the urinals should be the one that go all the way down to the ground, right? It shouldn't be the urinals that's high because how the little boy's going to use that? They should have the floor urinals. I had to pick them up. You tell them, don't touch nothing. They babies, they don't know. Anyway, I didn't see none of the movie, but they had a good time. You know what I'm saying? I raised a lot of stepchildren. You know what I'm saying? I raised a lot of stepchildren. I raised a lot of stepchildren. It is what it is. It's a beautiful experience to me. See? There go 6 of my children by some different women at the top. Well, 5. One didn't show up. And then here go me with my other stepchildren. And my baby daughter with her 2 sisters and her brother. I raised a lot of stepchildren. This was the last group I raised. When I met their mama, she had the twins and the boy. And then she had my daughter. And it's the same house. When my sons came to visit, and there go the 2 little baby girls, my girls. This little bitty one is the one I'm holding here. So this is when she was first born. So at the top picture, that little bitty one, and then that's my youngest daughter, And those are my three sons. The only one not in the picture is my oldest daughter. She couldn't make it. She couldn't get there. So all of these are mine at the top. These at the bottom is three more of my stepchildren and my daughter. And here go two of my stepchildren. And then I got some others. It was a great experience to me. It was really great for the children to have a man there. You know what I'm saying? And being with their mama was worth it. She was worth it. Definitely, she was worth it. It's all about the woman. Is she worth it? That's it. Is she worth it? Get what you can get out the relationship. Enjoy the relationship. And whatever happened, it happened. You got to live day by day. You can't be living in the future. So you got any questions on Crown? Because you was like how to meet women, how to attract women. One thing as a man, make yourself look good to yourself. You know if you look good to yourself or you don't. So make yourself look good. Put on what you think look good on you. You know what I'm saying? Dress for yourself. Impress yourself. You know what I'm saying? And if you're doing what you need to do, and if you bathing and washing yourself and brushing your teeth and dressing yourself to impress yourself, then when you meet a woman, you can make it happen. But I don't really believe in attracting a woman. It happens, but basically with a woman, you got to spit some game. You got to pull them. So we don't really attract women. We pull. We call it pulling them. You know how you take a woman's hand to dance? Well, that's how we meet women. We pull them. They don't just come to us. So the concept is never a woman gonna just come to you. The concept you finna go ahead and pull one. You gonna reach out to her. You gonna talk to her. You gonna bring her into your world. You gonna talk to her. You know, you have to introduce yourself to a woman, or she just gonna walk by. So you gotta say hi or something. Hi, what's your name? You have to pull them. Ain't no woman, when I grew up, ain't no woman gonna ask you to dance. You gotta ask them to dance. You have to pull them. And then if you carry yourself and how you dressed or whatever you got that's looking good helps you pull them. But as far as them just attracting to you, that ain't never happened. Every woman that I ever slept with, I pulled them. Even if they did kind of think I was handsome or whatever, I still had to pull them. Being handsome ain't enough. If I don't be aggressive, a woman will like you and approach you a little bit. But if you don't pull them, she'll keep going. She's not gonna just grab you by the hand and grab you and throw you in the car and take you and throw you in no bed and have sex with you. You gotta make all that happen. So attractive, nah. You just, you know what I'm saying, make yourself look good. And a woman gonna look at you uncrowned and they're gonna say they like the way you put yourself together. Meaning you're not, they know you didn't dress like that for them. They know that's how you really are, that you put yourself together a certain kind of way. So I never dress or I never do anything to attract women. If I buy jewelry, I buy jewelry because I like it. I'll never buy no chain and say, yeah, all the ladies gonna like this chain. No, I look in the mirror and say, yeah, this bitch look raw. Look at this, it's raw. I like it. And so you always take care of yourself and you're not trying to do nothing to attract no woman. The only thing you don't want to do is do nothing that run them away. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to run them away, but you don't go. If you're a man, don't ever try to attract women. You're going to have to talk to get a woman. You're going to have to ask her, what's her name? What's your name? You have to talk to her. It ain't nothing gonna do no magic on. She just gonna jump at you. Hey, you attractive. That's not gonna happen. The only time you're gonna get women running at you attractive like that is if you famous, like a football player, a basketball player, a rapper, a singer. Yeah, then they gonna approach you. But if you ain't one of them, you gotta do it. You ever see these videos, these fake videos they got with the camera, and the guy try to talk to a girl and she's real fine, and she say no, and then he go get in a nice car, and then she come back. Those are all phony. The pimps say you a square if you pay for dates, but you got to understand that pimps is scumbag that make women have sex with a lot of men for money. So at what point you gonna listen to a lowlife that would take your mama or your daughter and make her go be a prostitute on the corner? Also, some pimps are gorilla pimps. They beat women up. Also, some pimps get women on drugs to make her stuck. So at what point? Because you gotta understand, in Chicago, gangsters, we don't like pimps. We do pimps dirty. Gangsters don't like pimps because gangsters don't like nobody that pimp their mama. You know what I'm saying? See, a pimp, why would you follow a pimp when a pimp would pimp your daughter, pimp your auntie, pimp your mama, pimp your grandma, pimp your sister? So why would I follow a man that would misuse my sister? So we don't listen to no motherfucking pimp. You know what I'm saying? Right? So so now let's break what you said. You said pay for dates. See, let me explain something to you. I'm not paying for no dates. Okay? That's the first thing. In other words, like this. Check this out, lexicon. Let's say me and we chilling. You meet me for a you meet me for a business meeting, right? You say meet me at this library because you want to show me these books and talk about the business. So we at the library, we talk about business, right, lexicon? I meet you at 2 o'clock. We in the library. It's 5 o'clock. We finna leave. I say, hey man, it's a restaurant right down there. You want to go have lunch? You want to go have dinner? You like cool? You go have dinner. I'm gonna pay for it because I invited you, right? All right then. And you a man. I ain't even trying to sleep with you. We was just doing business at the library. But I invited you because I was hungry. I said, hey man, you want to go? It's a restaurant. I'm finna go get something to eat. You want to go have dinner? So now when you go have dinner, I invite you and I pay for it, right? Am I am I am I a square? No. This is what you do when you invite somebody somewhere. So when I invite a woman out for dinner, that's not technically a date per se. That's just me inviting you for dinner. I could call it a date, but if I invited you, I'm going to pay. So let's say I'm on the phone with a woman. See, they be telling y'all bullshit on this end. I'm the realest nigga alive. Let's say you're on the phone with your woman and she say, hey, you want to go down there? I heard they got some good hot dogs on. So you say, yeah, she got to pay. Who, whoever invites the other person pays. Either one. So these people on the internet, man, these be young people that don't be giving y'all real game. Whoever invites for the date got to pay because you're inviting them. You're offering to pay. So how am I a simp when I'm offering to pay a woman to go have dinner? How am I a square? That don't even make no sense. Because technically, you can call it a date afterwards, but that's not a date. The date is the total night. So let's see, I offer, let's say they don't know what the fuck they talking about. Listen, lexicon, listen. If I invite a woman to dinner, I'm inviting her for dinner. Let's say after we had dinner, we go walking around downtown. When we get back, the total thing was a date. The date is hanging out. The dinner is not the date. The date is the fact you're hanging out at the dinner. So when I invite a woman for dinner, I'm inviting her for dinner. I'm supposed to pay. The event of her hanging out with me, that is the date. So I didn't pay for the date. I paid for the dinner. Because the date is what's hanging out. I didn't pay for her to hang out. I paid for us to eat. So these young people is dumb. They don't know what a date is. A date is whenever you hanging out on a certain day, on that date. So the dinner is not the date. The hanging out is the date. The date starts when I pick you up. When she get in the car and I pick her up, we're on a date. I'm not paying to pick her up. So now part of the date is the movies, or part of the date is the dinner. And then I'm showing the hospitality because I'm the one invited you. I'm saying, let's go. I'm going to pay for dinner. Now, younger people say one thing, but business people going to tell you this is a business custom. Many times when you do business, you're going to invite the fellow business people that flew in town to dinner, and you're going to pay for it. Why is that so different when it's a woman? This is what you do, period. In business, you pay for dinners. That's what I invited you for. I'm treating you out. Then I turn around and be like mad because I invited you out. I invited you out to pay for dinner. And so they say, okay, Fro, you invite out for dinner. She want to order lobster and all that. I say, hey, that's above my budget tonight. That's above my budget. Like a gangster. It's real simple. It's no big problem. That's above my budget. And then when she say, so I ain't worth all that, I'm like, I didn't really bring you here to find out your worth. I just invited you to dinner. And she say, you right. You so smart. Yeah, bitch, I know. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to talk. You know what I'm saying? You the one wrong if you let her pimp you. You invited her to dinner and you let her know you got a budget. And she say, so what, you can't afford it? It'd be like, well, a budget don't mean I don't got no money. A budget mean this is all I'm allocating. So for this particular event, I'm only allocating this much money. So then if she say, well, I'm not worth lobster and all that, I'd be like, not really. Not really. No. Not really. And then we just had that conversation. No, not really. If we have sex, this is even Steven. As a matter of fact, I'm the one got the sperm. I'm not getting nothing when I have sex with you. I'm putting something in you. You know what I'm saying, baby girl? Like if we have sex, I'm putting something in you. You the one getting the zinc and the iron and all the calcium and all that. I'm squirting in you. You know what I mean? Ain't no such thing as pussy. Put some pussy on the table. I ain't never seen no pussy, but I can show you some sperm. But I bet you can't show me no pussy. I'm just saying you got a pussy, but you ain't got some pussy. What is that? I'm just saying. But while we talking about worth, I want a Rolex. You think I'm worth a Rolex, babe? You think I'm worth a Rolex? I think I'm worth a Rolex. What you think? You know what I'm saying? You will buy me a Rolex? Okay. Would you buy me a Rolex? I mean, this is our first date. Would you buy me a Rolex? I need a Rolex. I think I'm worth a Rolex. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? That's good dinner conversation. You know, brother got needs. There's things I want. I think I'm worth a Rolex. You know what I'm saying? What you think? Cause I'm trying to test baby girl intelligence to even see if I want to be bothered with you, to see if you know what I'm saying, if you got some intelligence. And she said, yeah, but I think I'm worth it. So I said, no, you want me to treat you like a wife. Like, you're not my wife. We just on a date. You're not my wife. I don't know you like that. You know what I'm saying? Before I buy you lobster and all that, we're going to be then fucked up several times. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to, we can go to your crib. We can start working on that bill. We can start seeing if you're the lobster type. I ain't seen nothing yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Is that pussy good like that? You got lobster pussy and champagne pussy? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I just met you. You just telling me. You telling me it's worth it. Now she smiles. You so crazy. No, you know what I'm saying? I got to see what I'm paying for, baby. You know what I mean? Is you my woman? I'm not gonna just be paying for no day. I only pay for my queen, right? I only pay for my queen. You're not my queen. You're just a chick. Just a woman I just met. I'm trying to get to know you. I don't think the lobster gonna make me know you better. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just out of my budget. I only tended to spend, $150. That's it. Just like that. I don't got nothing to prove. I don't gotta spend $2,000 you to prove anything to you like that. It's not like that. It's not that type of party. I'm not gonna let you hustle me while you trying to make me prove to you that I got all this money. One reason I got money, because I don't be throwing it away on goofy stuff, babe. You know what I mean? So you get with me, you're gonna have some money too. You know what I'm saying? You get with me. Be honest, babe. If I'm a sucker, you ain't gonna want to go out with me, is you? Right? So it ain't helping us if I sit there, you say I'm a sucker. You know what I mean? You want to be with a G. You want to be with a nigga, damn well ain't finna pay no $300 for no dinner for nobody they just met. Would you marry a nigga that went for what you trying to do? No, you ain't lying. All right then. Bet you with a G. You know what I'm saying? You definitely ain't gonna fuck with me if I'm a sucker. Keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. She gonna say you ain't lying. If I say if I'm a sucker and you could come in here and you could just run money out of my pocket, would you consider me to be your man? She gonna say, no, you got a good point. And before we leave there, she'll probably end up paying for it. Cause I'm gonna be spitting that game. All in her ear. Be all in her ear. Next thing she know, you ain't lying, no, I'll pay for it. This was a nice day. I'm gonna go ahead and get the lobster. I'll pay for it. Don't worry about it. I'll pay for it. Ooh, you so cheap. And she gonna pay for it. I bet that's why we might work out with your fire self. And if she don't wanna rock and roll, ain't no sweat off my back. You know what I'm saying? Baby bye. You know what I mean? Baby bye. Because women going two ways. You gonna take care of them or they gonna take care of you. Period. And you want to start a relationship with her taking care of you. You don't start a relationship with you taking care of her. You letting her know I want a woman gonna take care of me. Feel me? I'm automatically gonna take care of you. But I gotta make sure You're gonna be worth taking care of. I ain't want to take care of nobody. Ain't gonna take care of me. If she gonna say she want lobster, she pull out her own money and get lobster. That's all good. But at the end of the day, she ain't gonna really want no sucker. This ain't the sucker fest. You know what I'm saying? And she ain't gonna have no respect for me. Ain't no woman can pimp you and not look at you as like a hoe. So if she can pimp me, I'm a hoe. Okay? And then I don't want her. Because if we're gonna hook up and be a couple and I'm running the business, she's gonna have to go in that purse. She's gonna have to contribute to the cause. Because a woman with me, she's gonna have to go in that purse. Just like I'm going in my wallet, she's gonna have to go in that purse. Because it's all hands on deck and we both gonna make this happen. It ain't gonna be no thing where I'm gonna just make shit happen. I could do bad by myself. So I don't need her if she ain't gonna kick in no money. Period. She gotta kick in some money. She ain't trying to kick in no money. She ain't trying to be my queen in. She just a hoe, just trying to pimp somebody. I'm not doing all that. I'm not proving shit to no woman. You understand me? All I'm doing is be nice to you. I mean, be nice to you and cordial and try to make it a beautiful day. But as far as me trying to financially show you something, you got to really be my woman first. Don't be expecting things from me that my woman's supposed to get. You got to be my woman. You trying to get stuff like you my woman. You know what I mean? Because you got to understand that a real nigga, we don't care. Don't nobody care if you walk out. Nobody gonna care like that. Period. You gotta be dominant. If you're a man, you gotta be dominant. You understand? Because that woman, she gonna take your money and she gonna give it to me. Her man ain't doing none of that shit she's trying to get you to do. That's a fact. If she got a man, he ain't doing none of that. He ain't doing none of that. If she got a man, she spending all her money on him. Then she have you taken out and fool you, make you think, her man is driving her car. She buying him clothes. She buying him jewelry. Facts. Her man, she buying him everything. She giving him money. Facts. When a woman like you, she kick in. But I ain't never had them problems because I just take when I say I'm finna take you somewhere, I already know what I'm gonna spend, and you going with me, I'm not going with you. So if I take a woman out to dinner, I want to go, and I'm inviting her to go with me, and so I'm spending money that I want to spend. I won't spend this money anywhere. I'm not trying to take no woman in no date to win her over. You know what I'm saying? For a date for me is I'm finna go here. You want to go with me? Let's go here since we together, like that. So it's never like, oh, I'm taking her somewhere to spend some money. I'm always taking her where I want to go. If I don't want to spend no money, we're not going on no date. So that's what some of these brothers make a mistake. They trying to date up on a woman. They trying to have the car, the date, and all that get the woman, and they could have just went and paid for some pussy if they if they prostitute. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna go out and spend $300 on dinner, you could have just said, "Listen, I got $100. Can I hit that for 100? I got 100. I got 150. Let me hit it. Fuck the date. I get 150 right now." If it's prostitution, if it's prostitution, just do prostitution. You know what I'm saying? But if it's a woman and you try to talk to her, because for me, I don't just talk to women, so I don't date. I'm only looking for queens. If you're not gonna be my queen, I don't fuck with you. So I don't date like that. I don't go out with this one and this one. Those is men with low self esteem. They try to see how many women they can fuck. I ain't into that. I ain't into sex with a lot of different women. When I'm talking to a woman, I'm looking for a queen. Period. I'm not looking for no sex. That's whack. You know what I'm saying? Men that want to have a lot of sex all the time, these motherfuckers that was weirdos or something, they was something wrong with them. They trying to play catch up or something. Nigga ain't been busting no nuts till he got old as dirt or some shit. But if you been knocking women back since motherfucking seventh, eighth grade, shit, you ain't no weirdo chasing no coochie like that, like no nut. You know what I mean? Chasing no coochie like that, trying to see how many coochies you could get up in. Something be wrong. I don't fuck with dudes like that. When I see a dude and he always got to be with a different woman, I can't fuck with you. Something wrong with you. You got like some type something wrong. You got some type of personality deep, default. Who the fuck do that? Who they'll try to see how many women they can sleep with? Okay, and what do you get out of that? Like, make it make sense. The times I did sleep with a lot of women, I wasn't trying to do that shit. They were just throwing ass at me. I wasn't trying to do that. I wasn't like go out, man, let me see who I can sleep with. Like, what the hell? That's dudes with low self esteem. You ever hung out with dudes like that? I can't deal with dudes like that. That's why I don't be hanging out that much. Cause a lot of dudes I can't hang out with you. Pimp say girlfriends, wives is no different than prostitutes. He's crazy. Pimps, bro, why you keep telling me what pimp say? My mother and father was married, so a pimp is saying that my mother was a prostitute. Bro, makes come on, man. Your mother, your mother and your father is nothing. See what I'm saying, bro? Pimps is idiots. Okay, pimps is uneducated niggas that dropped out of school, basic criminals. Pimps are not philosophers. Okay, pimps is idiots, bro. Who the fuck gonna listen to a pimp? A pimp gonna say girlfriend and wives is no different than prostitute. And you ask him, was his mother in his life? He say no. Was your father in your life? No. So you never seen a husband and wife relationship. Is that fair to say? Right. Okay. So how do you know what wives is like when the wife didn't ever raise you? Because let me ask you something, lexicon. You had a mother and a father. Was you raised by a mother and father that was married? Was your mother and father married when they raised you? Yes or no? Was your mother and father married when they raised you? Huh? Was your mother and father married when they raised you? Because this is my mother and father, and this is my father's wife. And my mother was not a prostitute. And was your mother a prostitute? Was she just like a prostitute? She was a wife, right? Was she just? Would you consider her to be have been just like a prostitute? Because there go my mother and my father, and my mother was not no prostitute. That's my father's wife right there. So a pimp say that to the wrong nigga, and shit go left. If a pimp said that to me, I asked him that. I like, when my mother was married to my father, what you saying? See what I'm saying? Bro, stop repeating what pimps say. You know what I'm saying? Pimps is stupid niggas. Don't nobody respect pimps in the hood. How many times I told y'all, pimps ain't shit to, pimps ain't nothing. Nobody look up to pimps, bro. Niggas hate pimps in the streets. In the streets, they don't like pimps. That's why they whoop Don Juan. That's why the GDs whooped Don Juan. The GDs whooped Don Juan because he was a pimp. The streets don't like pimps. I don't know why you keep telling me about pimps. I don't like pimps, bro. Stop telling me about pimps. I don't like pimps. I got sisters. I got aunties. I don't like pimps. I would never listen to a fucking pimp. A pimp gonna tell you right in front of your face that your mama's a prostitute because that was your daddy's wife. Think about that, y'all. I don't know why you keep telling me about what pimps say. You know what I mean? We do pimps dirty. I don't respect no motherfucking pimps. You can only push something that a lame will listen to. You can only push foolishness to a fool. Mexican. You can only push foolishness to a fool. Ain't no motherfucker. I'm in the rack. I am in the culture in Chicago. And nobody give a fuck about no pimps. Pimps get beat up and robbed if they get caught out here slipping. Pimps got no respect out here. Nobody like no motherfucking pimp. Niggas got sisters and mamas and women in their family. Don't nobody respect no pimp. Pimps have to hide and sneak around. Pimps can't really come out in the hood around no G's. The red pill, he ain't nobody. Them niggas is fools. I'm just telling young people, watch me, the hoods, the gangsters don't like pimps. Facts. Only lowlifes listen to pimps. Men that respect their mothers, their daughters and shit. Cause a motherfucker look at a pimp like he'll do your daughter like that. So any motherfucker respect a nigga that will put their daughter on a holstro is all his motherfucking self. It's a whole ass nigga. How you looking up to a nigga that'll put your daughter on the corner, put your mama on the corner, put your sister on the corner? Who the fuck? What the fuck? What kind of nigga gonna listen to a nigga like that? You listening to a nigga that do that to your own women in your family, your auntie, your grandma and shit? Brothers don't be thinking, man, when they be talking. They be saying, man, think before you be talking, man. Don't nobody respect no motherfucking pimps. You know what I'm saying? A pimp gonna tell you there ain't no difference between that and a motherfucking prostitute, a wife and a prostitute. And my mama was my daddy's wife. Nah, a nigga say that shit to me on a bad day and I'm out there and a nigga disrespect my mama like that and tell me that my mama, because she was married to my daddy, my mama just like a prostitute. Boy, that shit'll go real fucking left. Now, shit like that get you fucked up because you just saying some shit you don't know what the fuck you saying. Ain't no way, no wife, none like no motherfucking prostitute. That's the dumbest shit ever. Lexicon, don't be repeating that stupid ass shit because a goddamn prostitute always pay the pimp. And when you married to a wife, your wife contribute and the husband contribute. Both parties contribute in a marriage. With pimping, only the hope contribute. So how the fuck is a wife like a prostitute when the husband contribute and the wife contribute? Make that shit make some sense. Pimps, these stupid niggas. I know the saying they like, you go out and work all day and come back and give it all to your wife. That's a goddamn lie. These women work. Man, women work, okay? Don Juan and them, they ain't talking about shit, okay? Them niggas ain't on shit. I don't listen to no motherfucking pimps. Pimps be broke with a lot of fake jewelry on, in and out of prison, drug addicts and all that. Pimps don't be shit. They be some low life losers and they scary. And they dipping and dodging and hiding from gangsters. Saying stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? A way to disrespect a black woman, basically. Where the black man disrespect his own mama. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you see a black man disrespect a black woman, this a nigga that disrespect his own mama, grandmama, sister, auntie, disrespect all the women in his own family. A fucking low life. Ain't nobody finna say all this negative shit about women listening to Don Juan and listen to no motherfucking pimps. Pimps go and find women that's got mental issues and misuse them. They don't even be with no intelligent women. So how they gonna tell you about women when they with hoes? They with lost hoes. They ain't even with no women. What the hell they know about women? They go get women got mental issues, got drug issues and shit like that. You ain't never seen no intelligent woman be no damn prostitute. Teaching these young brothers wrong shit. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make you look like a simp when you take a woman out on a date. Let me tell y'all something. When you take a woman out on a date, you're supposed to be going to do something that you want to do on your own. You're not supposed to be taking a woman on a date to have sex with her. When you take somebody to a restaurant, you're supposed to be doing it because you got the money to do it. You got the money, you want to do it, and you are inviting them to go with you. So if I ask a woman to go to dinner, I'm asking her to go to dinner with me. I'm willing to go to dinner and you can join me. And I'm paying for it because I'm going to dinner. I am going to dinner. And you are going with me. I am not taking you to dinner, technically. So if I go with a woman and I take her to dinner and you say I'm simply going to spend money, I allotted that money for that. I want to do that with that money. So if you're taking a woman to dinner and you don't got that money and you don't want to do it, but you only doing it because you're trying to sleep with her, you a fool. That's your fault. Because you're not supposed to be taking her to no dinner just to get with her. You're supposed to be taking her to dinner because you want to go to dinner and you can afford to go to dinner anyway. And she's going with you. So I never take no woman nowhere where I can't go anyway. And she going with me. I'm not spending no money to be with her. I'm spending this money because I want to spend it. I'm not spending no strings attached. So if I take a woman to dinner, I'm not expecting shit but dinner. Period. I'm not taking no woman to dinner to go sleep with her. Period. Because I don't even got to take her to dinner to sleep with her. I can take her, we can go walking, we can go out there, and if she like me and she get in a good mood, and she get horny, she don't want to go back in and have sex anyway. I'm not buying sex when I invite a woman out. I invite her out because she going to be company. And while we having dinner, I can talk to her, get to know her and shit like that's it. I don't expect nothing. As a matter of fact, I really don't want nothing like that. I want to drop her off, walk her to the door, let her go in the crib and go. I really don't want to have sex like that because I think it sets the relationship off in a bad way if I have sex too early. I don't think it's good for a relationship. I don't even know her like that. I don't know if I even want to be bothered with you. So why would I want to get sexually tied up with you like that? You know what I'm saying? So I never take no women to no date for sex. I take a woman on a date because I want to go somewhere. And I ask her, do she want to go with me? Basically, like a real G. I'm going somewhere. Do you want to go with me? Period. Now, I might want to go because she there, because I might not want to go have dinner by myself. So now I'm talking to you. I meet you. Hey, you want to go to dinner? Because that give me an opportunity to go to dinner. That give me an opportunity to go to a movie. I don't necessarily would go to a movie by myself, but I could. But I'm not taking you to the movie expecting nothing. We just hanging out. We just hanging out. If she don't never invite you nowhere, then you already see that, you know, where the relationship, that it ain't gonna really be no relationship. She didn't mind hanging out, but if she like you gonna be talking. She gonna say, "You want to go so and so? I pay for it." That's what she gonna say. You be like, "Cool." And if I go out and I really like her and she go to pay, take her money, I'll be like, "Nah, I got it." But I'm not doing it to buy to get now. I just like her. And I want her to keep her little money. Let me spend, man. I got extra money. I told her, "Nah, I got it. Don't worry about it. Just look out for me if I get fucked up." Some shit like that. You know what I mean? But it's like when you try to date a woman, she gotta be your friend first before she your sexual part. Like you try me, I'm trying to see if it's a friend when I meet a woman and I start going out with her. I'm trying to see if she a friend. I ain't trying to have sex like that. That's not the issue. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm doing it for. I can't say she using me because I'm the one inviting her. You know how you invite her somewhere and say she's just trying to use you when you the one suggested to take her. See, some stuff to me don't make no sense. I invited you to go to dinner. I took you to dinner. I paid for the dinner. Then somebody say you using me. How you using me? I invited you. That's the crazy stuff. You invite somebody somewhere. Now you want to treat this woman like she owe you something, but you invited her. That's why the women be looking at y'all crazy. You invite her somewhere. She go get dressed up and stuff to go. You take her out there. Now you acting like she owe you something. Well, you should have told her that at the beginning. She wouldn't have went. I'm gonna take you to dinner if you fuck her something. She'd be like, nah, hell no. Nah. Nut shit. You know, because niggas ain't no players. You ain't that. You know what I mean? We don't go nowhere. When we go somewhere, that's money to burn. That money don't mean shit we spending. That's why we invited her. Some real player shit. You going because you got money. You just going to spend this money. You don't give a fuck about this money. That's why you invited her. You know what I'm saying? You don't care. Even when the brothers get together, when we get together, me and my cousin and his brother, and we want to go out and eat, that's because we got the money we want to throw away. And then when we get there, somebody end up paying for it. We never pay for it. Somebody pay for it. Either I'm gonna pay for it, he gonna pay for it, or he gonna pay for it. You know why? Because we went out there to spend some money. We don't care who paid for it. We all willing to pay for it because we just wanted to go. We don't give a damn about the money. You don't go nowhere and care about the money. You go because you want to go. Because every so many months, me and my cousin and his brother go out because they brothers and his brother finally admitted his brother was my best friend growing up. He ended up sleeping with my auntie. My auntie had my cousin. Nobody knew my cousin was my best friend's brother. My mama told me, I told him, but then he never really hooked up with my cousin. And now he finally accepting my cousin and hanging out because I'm like, that's your brother. I wasn't going to never deal with my best friend ever no more if he didn't respect his brother. It ain't your brother fault your daddy slept with his mama. That's your brother. You like a brother to me. He like a brother to me. And you really his brother. So we really like three brothers. But now they've been going out to dinner. And I go, and when we go, hey, you know what I'm saying? If I don't got enough money to pay for everybody, I'm say I ain't gonna go this time. So like if I invite a woman out, money is not the issue. If I've already decided I'm gonna spend the money, so she not using me if I invite her out and I pay for dinner. And if I invite her out again and pay for dinner, and then I try to kiss her or something and she don't want to do it, I invite her to dinner. She never said all that came with it. If it get to a point that I think that's what I'm looking for, then I just don't invite her to dinner no more. But if you like a girl, if you like a woman, inviting them out and spending money is not the way to get that established. You need to go to free stuff to find out. Because if she ain't gonna go to the beach with you, if she ain't gonna go bike riding with you, that tell you right there she not interested in you. If she interested in you, she gonna go just any places with you. It don't have to be nowhere that costs money. So if she ain't willing to go walk on the beach with you, if she ain't willing to maybe go bike riding, if she ain't willing to go sightseeing and shit like that, there you know right there. Why would you keep taking up to dinner? She just try to get free dinners. But you can't blame her if you keep suggesting it. You know what I'm saying? If she call you and say, you want to go to dinner, then you're gonna be like, who you gonna pay for it? She's like, I thought you was gonna pay for it. And then you ain't got no relationship with it, then you know this is a scumbag. But I can't get mad at no woman. I invite her to dinner. She go. I think I'm gonna have sex. She don't show no signs. I invite her again. She go. I'm thinking she gonna like me or something. She don't show no sign. That's not her fault. I'm the one keep inviting her. Yeah, she gonna say yeah. Yeah, she gonna say yeah. You know what I'm saying? What you keep inviting them for? That ain't making no sense. So dating is something, you know, dating is something you should do unless you want to do it. You should never take nobody on a date unless you want to go and you want to spend the money. Don't take nobody on a date based on what you expect from them. That ain't keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't got enough money to go on a date, if you're going to take a girl on a date and then she ain't acting like she like you and you talking about, man, don't spend $200. That meant you couldn't afford it, bro. You went and did some shit you couldn't afford. because you shouldn't give a fuck about that $200. If that was gonna bother you, you shouldn't have went on a date. You should only pay for what you enjoy. So you should only the only reason you're gonna pay for a dinner with a woman is because I want to be at dinner with her. That's it. I want her to be at dinner with me to have dinner. That's as far as it go. I'm not taking you to dinner to have sex or none of that. I take each part separately. I'm just taking you to dinner. You don't owe me nothing. Period. If you can't do that, you ain't no G. You're a lame. Because if you take a woman to dinner and she have a nice time and she had a dinner, but she don't know if she want to sleep with you and all that, and you don't invite her no more, you don't be calling her phone no more and all that. If she get any interest, she gonna call your phone. You're like, hello? She's like, why ain't heard from you? She gonna call you. If she don't call you, then why is you trying to get interest when she already showing you it ain't no interest? That's your fault. You trying to get interest when she ain't got no interest. And then you can't say she used you because sometimes it's not till she go to dinner before she realize she don't like you. Yeah, they be lying on women. Women be going out with you thinking, yeah, he might be kind of cool, and then ride with you and hear the stuff you be talking about and see how you move and see how you act at dinner. And then she, right there at dinner, she decided, mm-mm. Now you want to say she used you throughout the dinner, but how you know she didn't find out at the dinner that you not her type? She didn't know you wasn't her type till she went to dinner. She went to dinner with you and you just not her type. She didn't use you for your money. She just checked you out and it's a no. You know what I'm saying? You just not her type. I can go out with a woman at dinner. She could look at me and realize I'm not her type. Hey, it is what it is. I can't say she used me and went out to dinner with me and used me. I don't know what's going on. All I know is if we have a good dinner and it's a nice dinner and it was cordial and you be nice to her and you take off and be nice, she's still gonna be your friend. She's still gonna like you. She's still gonna like you. And you just don't press it. You don't press it no more. You showed interest and now it's her turn to show interest. But you don't go keep calling her back, keep taking her to dinner, and she keep eating up your food and drinking up your stuff. Cause now she don't respect you anyway. You a lame. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not for disrespecting women because they go to dinner and then they don't have sex with no men. That's buster shit. You ain't taking no woman to no dinner to have no sex with you or no shit like that. Get the hell out of here. That's crazy. You trying to do something you can't afford to do or something. I done went to a bunch of dinners one time with a lot of different women. Well, not a lot, but some, because I ain't been single that long. I don't be single. But I've taken women to dinner and decided I don't like them. I've taken women to dinner and decided, nah, and took them home, and that was that. I've taken women to dinner and it was just dry. The energy was weird, you know, and I didn't take them out no more because the energy wasn't there. Any other brothers got some questions? I'm trying to answer these to the best of my ability, but I never lived a life trying to attract women. I've only bought the clothes I like. I only dress the way I like. I do everything what I like, and I never went and say, "Oh, I'm gonna put this on. The women gonna like this." I never function like that. Typically, I asked a woman before I came on here, and she said, "No, we don't. We don't look at a man based on him trying to attract us." She said, "We look at how well he put himself together on his own." And then she said, "We look at him and say, oh, he's well put together." So she said, the way you put yourself together on your own is what they determine what kind of man you are. That they attracted to the way you put yourself together for yourself, not how you put yourself together for them to see that. But I never hung with men that try to attract women. They be weirdos. A lot of men that's always trying to like put on all this cologne, all stuff to attract women, they never end up at being married or being in no long term relationship because they like some self centered weirdos. They be like weirdos. You know, they doing all this stuff for women, which is just crazy. Even exercising. Imagine exercising, trying to get your body to look right for women instead of for yourself. Like it's really like crazy. How do you know she's your wife? Usually, before you find out there's a wife, there's going to be a long dating. Uh, there's going to be a long dating experience, Reverend Tim. So the first thing is when you date them, you date a woman, and then okay, you go out with her on Friday. Then on Saturday, you calling her, she calling you. You go back and hang around her. Then Sunday, you hang around. Then you start bringing clothes to sleep to stay, right? Right? And then you basically become in a relationship. And then after you're in a relationship so long, you got to look at yourself and say, do I just want to be in a relationship for 30 years or do I want to get married? Because eventually you can tell this relationship don't look like it's got no end to it. So if you're in a relationship don't look like it's got no end and y'all crazy about each other, why not get married? So that's basically how you tell. After a while, you just become a couple. You become like one unit. Everybody look at you as one unit. Her family look at it like y'all. Everybody look at you pretty much like a married couple, pretty much. So you basically moving like a married couple. You just ain't get married. You say you good for now. I hope I find a queen before I turn 45. Time winds down. Guess I'm self-centered. I mean, you'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You'll figure it out. But my advice, Big Barnett, is still go on dates. You got all you gotta do is remember is that going on dates ain't marriage, so you ain't losing nothing. You ain't married, so they ain't got no legal rights or nothing. So just go on dates and see. But some of your, some of your requirements, you're gonna have to drop them. The more requirements, the more uncomfortable you're gonna make the women because it's always gonna be like a job application. So every woman you date, she's on a job application. And you ain't gonna be able to tell, but they gonna be able to tell. So your dates is gonna go real weird. Your dates ain't gonna go normal because they on a job application. You got too much stuff you trying to check off. If you ask me, you got past issues. You didn't let it go from past women. And that's for the women and the men. That shit in the past, you gotta let that shit go. Because with past experiences, it just makes the next relationship worse. You have to go into a relationship blank at zero. And you know if you got baggage or not. You know if you carrying something. You know if you got baggage. You know if you got quirks. And you got to get rid of all that if you're going to have a successful relationship. Some people, if you've been by yourself too long, you ain't going to never be in a relationship because you're selfish and you've been by yourself too long. And you ain't going to be able to live with nobody because you want everything sitting where you've been sitting it and that type of thing. So after a while, it get to a point, you're going to be what they call set in your ways. You ain't going to be able to be in a relationship. Not really. That's why you get these people, they get like 47, 48, and they just get in any relationship. So what's going to happen, Big Barnett, in a minute, you're going to sell out. In a minute, you be the same one that's just going to take the first person come when so much time go by. You end up in a worse situation than if you move now when you could think. If you keep waiting, you're going to end up with a total worse situation because you're going to be desperate. You don't think you're going to be desperate, right? But if you don't do something by the time you get 43, 44, 45, 46, then watch. I bet you drop all them standards in. Once you realize them standards, you ain't going to never fulfill them standards. It's going to be a wrap. Because it just be a bunch of standards and it just make it hard to be in a relationship. Standards prevent relationship and standards ruin relationships. I know people that wanted a higher standard in their relationship and they broke up and they never found that standard. Never again. They never found whatever they was looking for that they said the last person didn't have. They never found it. They went on a mission to look for nothing that don't even exist. But meeting a woman or meeting a man's got to come organically. You can't force it. And so it's got to be organic. It's got to come naturally. If you're going looking for a mate, you're going to make a bad decision. Let them come your way naturally. But you got a lot of men is shy. They scared. They ain't going to say nothing to it. They ain't going to talk to it. They ain't going to initiate the conversation. But you got to let it come naturally. And there's plenty of women out here. Tons of them. There's lots of women out here just looking for a relationship. But a lot of them got children already. Unless you in your teens or 20s. You're in your 20s, a bunch of women ain't got no babies yet. But that number goes down and down and down every year. You know what I'm saying? That number go down, 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 down every year. Relationships are would be easy if you could get both sides to be on the same type of page as far as expectations. You know what I'm saying? But you got one side over here, you got the other side over here, you got the woman over here, you got the man over here, and you know you don't have the you don't have what can I call it? You don't have the social mentality for marriage. You're trying to have the emotional or economical mentality, but you don't have the social mind state for long marriages. In the black community in America, the marriages that lasted a long time because they had the social mindset. They understood what they was going against. So their marriages had a social significance. Teamwork was a big deal. Okay. This generation is selfish. This young generation is me, what I want. For me. I want this and I want that and I want this. And I want to get with somebody that want me to have everything I want. I want to get with somebody so everything go my way. I can't find nobody that go my way, basically. And what I want, right? Like that. And so technically, when you got a list, you ain't gonna never get in a relationship. The only way you can get in a relationship is no list and no expectations. That's it. If you got a list, you got expectations, you'll never get past the dating phase because the other person's gonna pick that up from you. The other person's gonna pick that up from you. So you can't get in a relationship with a list or ideas of what you want to get, what you want to do. You can't do that because your wants and need come after the relationship been for a while. That that's got to grow. The person's got to grow into you to the point where they want to adapt to your wants and needs. But if you're trying to come into it with your wants and needs and both of y'all are stiff, it's a new relationship, it's not going to happen. Because relationships don't be perfect. They a couple tweaks the relationship to make it perfect. There's no perfect relationship. You have to adjust the relationship to make it perfect. How will they pick it up? They're gonna be picking up and know because the way you're gonna be acting. They gonna know. They're gonna know it's a certain way. It's a certain way you're gonna act. You understand? But this the thing, Big Barnett. You gotta remember that you build a relationship. So let's say you like this and you want the relationship to be like this. Well, relationship go like this. And so you only can custom the relationship after you get in it. So a lot of the things you want in a relationship when you meet a person, you don't see it there. But as a couple, it'll happen. But you can't expect it to be like that. And so when you're in a relationship with a woman, y'all both change. Y'all change. Y'all don't. So it's hard to judge the relationship until you actually get together. And when you actually get together, y'all change. But you ain't gonna be able to see that it's gonna work until you get together. Then you'll see. You're never the person you marry. The person you first start dating do not be the person you end up marrying. You gel. So it takes patience, and it takes you have to build a relationship. It doesn't come like a prefabricated house. And then you have to give some. You have to give some. You can't expect them to be everything you want them to be. They are their own person. They cannot expect you to be everything that they want you to be. You're an individual, they're an individual. And so the way that your ancestors made relationships work, because they had a third element, and that was survival. That was getting a house. That was raising children. That was sending them to school. That was working jobs to get money. So that overruled everything. Because grandma and granddaddy, granddad and grandmama, they not finna lose their house because they arguing. Like this young generation, you willing to break up, divorce, and lose your house. But the black folks that came from the South during the Great Migration, they ain't willing to lose their house because they don't get along. They're not willing to have no argument and lose their house and split up as quick as this young generation, stupid young generation, quick, so selfish, selfish. Me. That's what I want. 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 So if you want a lot, you're not really good for a relationship anyway. You're too selfish. You just want your way. How you gonna find somebody that don't got a way they want? So you gotta try to find somebody that want it your way. You'll never be happy. You gotta give in a relationship. It's not gonna be your way. Y'all gonna make a new way. A lot of people don't understand that you a person and you a person. When y'all get together, y'all make like another person. Y'all make a whole new circumstance. It takes it's gonna take you at least 48 months. It's gonna take you at least 48 months to jail anyway. Ask anybody, ask any couple. First off, ain't nothing popping till you move in together. So if you don't move in together, it's a wrap. Him living over there and her living over there, no. Y'all might as well just break up. Y'all boyfriend and girlfriend, y'all on some little kid shit. You'll never know nobody till you live with them. So you gotta live together to build a strong relationship. You can't do that from no two different apartments. That ain't gonna never happen. No matter how much y'all date with two different apartments, when y'all move in together, it's just like you starting all over. You lost time. You could have got that out the way. So I tell the men, if you never going home no more, just give up your apartment or hers. If you just always over there and you running in and then you back and you hardly not at your own place, it's time for y'all to move in together. You ain't never home anyway. You just throwing money away. Time to let your situation go. That's what I would say. And then if you get in a relationship and you're in a relationship 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, whatever, and it don't work, that's not no big deal. Just break up and start over. I'm making a big deal out of everything. Enjoy it while it lasts, and then when it don't last, move on. Now I can't hook you up on no woman. I can't hook you up on no woman because the hookup ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna turn into nothing. You know what I'm saying? Every woman you're gonna be with, you're gonna have to meet them on your own. Plus you 41. So I would have to go out here and find some younger women somewhere where I don't even be at. So I'm not even in the type of spots or moving where I'm gonna know a bunch of women that's in the age category you want to meet, where I'm gonna find them at. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be able to find you no woman like that. You know what I'm saying? What city you live in? What city you from? Cause that might be your problem, your city. Where you live? Where you live? What city you live in? And then if you drive a truck, how long you be gone? You know what I'm saying? What city you live in and how long you be on the road? You in South Carolina, and if you be on the road, that's gonna be a problem right there. That's gonna be a problem right there with a woman being at home by herself while you out in the truck. That's gonna take a specific type of woman right there in itself. That ain't gonna be easy right there. Because I know truckers and they stay getting divorced. They gotta be gone away from their wife too much. Truckers catch hell with relationships. You out on the road leaving that pussy sitting there hot for a week, niggas gonna be running up in that shit when you gone. You can't build no strong relationship out on no damn truck. I know it depends on how long you go, how long you be driving. But if you be gone days, a woman wants to see her husband every day. Or you drive night Monday through Friday and you get off every day. You drive nights though? Nope. You're gonna have to find out if you want to get married, have a wife, you're gonna have to be home at night. There's very few women that's gonna want a husband that, you know what I'm saying? You driving local, but you gotta be home at night. Night shift is equal divorce. Long term night shift, every night she gotta go to bed by herself. That ain't gonna work. Yeah, that's the worst right there. I worked the night shift. That's a relationship killer. You can find a woman that'll deal with it, but your numbers is down though. They can't have no kids. Boom. You don't want them to have no children, all right? Then you want them to be at home by themselves every night. Bruh. If she got to choose between a dude in her bed every night and a dude that ain't there, the dude that ain't there gonna lose. A woman gonna want a man in that bed every night. If you think so, she gonna adapt. All right. Yeah, she gonna adapt. She gonna adapt. Those are hard situations. It can be done, but I got a lot of trucker friends, and they'll tell you being a trucker in relationships is hard. Women need attention. She gonna adapt all right. Women need attention, man. It's like I can't see that. Not long term. I can see where you go through something like I've been be in the music studio and I'll be working nights, but not every night. I hear you tell you. Not every night, you know what I'm saying? It's relationships, it's a lot to them. Like women, you have to cater to them. Like they have certain needs. They don't like to be lonely, not if they got a man. I ain't saying you can't find a woman that'll do that. You can, but I'm saying you just your pickings is smaller because you want her to have a baby, but when she get pregnant, you ain't gonna be there all night, and that's crazy. Because a pregnant woman, you got to be there. So like if you get her and she want to have children and all that, I mean you're gonna have all these demands, but they just all the demands is on your way, Big Barnett. Like you the only one gonna have demand. But what's the demand she gonna have on you? And one of them gonna be home every night. So you trying to find somebody to fit into your demands, but then they also got to fit into your lifestyle. Everything fits around you. Good luck with that. I don't see how that's gonna happen. I don't see it happening. That's why it ain't happening. It ain't gonna happen. The only way you're gonna get in a relationship and have some children, you're gonna have to drop a lot of your demands. You got to make some changes because the way you function, it ain't gonna never happen. And you in the middle of nowhere. You in South Carolina. Yeah, she'll be eating alone and sleeping alone. Right. With dudes all outside looking at her and shit, and she looking good and she horny and shit. And goddamn it, one day somebody gonna be all up in your bed while you ain't there. That ain't gonna never work. That's a hard no. And she can't have no baby. She ain't got no babies. If she gonna have, he want to get married and give her have a baby and leave her every night while she pregnant, and then have a baby. He be gone every night, and the night is the most crucial part for a man. That's when you do your security. That's when you be there for love. That's when you be there for dinner. That's when you be there for everything and breakfast. And you gone all night, and you got to find a woman that's gonna want to sleep there by herself all night. When women do not like that, some of them will be scared. You know, I don't see that happening. You know what I'm saying? You will have to change your shift, or you have to find something else. You might get lucky though, but I don't know. I know a lot of truckers and they relationships be rough. Yeah, I know a lot of truckers they going through hell because they got to be gone from home too long. But it's always a chance though. But then you ain't got no. Let me see. Yeah, that's you got a hell of a schedule. But like you said, you got to make that money. You got to make your money. So you drive from Monday night through Friday night. You got Saturday and Sunday nights off. Yeah, that's right. You was driving long distance, you just got local. That's good you got local. Well, like I said, I can't say you ain't gonna find nobody. You might. I'm not gonna say you not. But you're going to have to find them on Saturday or Sunday because you're on the road at night. Unless you meet a woman in the day, you're not going to be open for dates. She said it'll work if she really doesn't love you. But if she loves you, it won't work. Ooh. She a woman, she know. I can't question a woman. She said it'll work if she don't really love you. But if she love you, that ain't gonna work. Yeah, I know what she said, because if she love him, she is not gonna want to be in that bed all night, is she? Hell, without him? Uh-uh. No way. Nighttime is the most coziest time of the day. No, you 100% correct. Somebody that just want to pimp him, though, and let him pay the bills and got a free place to live. Is there a lot of women in South Carolina? I don't know. What's South Carolina like? Okay, they got 1 million black people, 1.3 million black people in South Carolina. So it's a lot of black people there in the state. 1.3 million. It's a lot of black people there. Yeah, it's a lot of black people there. Like I said, I can't say never, but you definitely, you got your work cut out for you, Big Barnett, because you don't got a lot of time to date. You don't got a lot of time to date. All right. And you said it's a lot of women with kids, so yeah. You said you were surprised how big the women was. You like 300 pounds plus. Wow. They don't eat well down there, huh? Wow. What about the men? You say you live in Clemson. There's plenty of women there, but you date women from Georgia and North Carolina. So he can expand his dating to the Charlotte area. His problem is his time, though. His problem is time. He don't got Friday night. You know what I'm saying? He drive until Friday night. He got Saturday and Sunday. He would have to date Saturday and Sunday, and then he not around no nights. He got to sleep in the day. You off on the weekends. So he could date, he can meet women and date, but is he gonna be able to keep women when he's gone Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night? That is the problem. That's a serious problem. Because a relationship ain't gonna just be based on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? But there's somebody for everybody. You know what I'm saying? There's somebody for everybody, but he have a special situation he looking for. He got a special situation he looking for, and special type of woman and stuff like that. So one thing for sure, Big Barnett, you have to talk to a lot of women. That's for sure. Anytime you go out, you're gonna have to talk to a lot of women because you're gonna have to take a lot of applications, pretty much like that, basically. Because if you don't want them to have no children, then you got to talk to this one, this one, this one. You got to try to figure out events or things you could go to meet women. You know what I'm saying? And try to find out who don't have no children. And then not only do you, like me, I might find a perfect woman, but then no, she ain't gonna like me. So not only do he got to find a woman, but he got to find one that like him back. And then driving truck. Women work nights too. Yeah, women do work nights too. Some women work nights. Some women work nights. But he definitely got his work cut out for him, especially like in 2025. Whew, figure out how to own a trucking company. Yep. But for him to find a woman, he's gonna have to date a lot. He's gonna have to date because the problem gonna be meeting them. You know, where is he gonna meet them at? Because he's trying to find a woman with no children, so he's got to date. Have you been on the dating apps? Because the dating apps will automatically eliminate children. I don't believe in dating apps, but because you need a custom situation, dating apps might be the best way for you to meet women. Because at least you'll be able to say no children. If he got to go out and meet them, he got to keep asking them. And it's like, yeah, I got a child. Yeah, but with the dating apps would automatically eliminate children, make it easier for him to meet because that's his main problem is he's got to meet women with no children. And there's no club where all the women ain't got no children. That's the hardest part for him is meeting women with no children. And I don't believe in dating apps, but for that specific, if he needs something that specific, I think a dating app. I think a dating app. It'd be a much wider selection. He 41. He 41. Oh, right. Yeah. You said no children at 41 at SC. No, sir. Right. He 41. So if he 41, he could find one in their 30s, though. Right? He could find one in their 30s, right, Tia? Because he 41. So technically 31 is good. You know what I'm saying? 31 is good. I mean, my last marriage was 15 years difference. I was 40, she was 25. So he definitely could find somebody 25, 25, 30. I thought he said it's 41. Big Barnett, you 41, ain't you? He said something about 45. I think he was trying to say by 45 or something like that. At 41, though, he could definitely get with a woman in her 30s. So I can't believe it's not a whole bunch of women like 31, 32, 33 that ain't pregnant yet. It should be. Well, maybe not. I don't know. See, 41. What y'all think? Is there a lot of women 30, 38, 28? It should be a lot of women. Okay, gonna be 40, 29. It should be a lot of women 28, 29, and early 30s that don't got children. Maybe, I don't know. Are they getting pregnant early down there? They might be getting pregnant early down there. They might be having babies like crazy, like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. They're probably having babies all in them ages. But Big Barnett, if you go to the day naps, would be the best thing though, because it'll weed out everybody. To me, that would be the best way. I would go to the dating apps, and then at least I could go to dates and eliminate children right off the top. I don't know. My last wife, she had a set of twins from one, and she had a boy from somebody else. When I met them, they was like 7 and 8 years old. I don't be caring about nothing like that. If once I meet a woman, I just go by her. If I like her, and then I kind of love her, it's a wrap. Nothing else don't matter to me. If I like her, if I like her, it's up. I don't care about none of that. The day, that's what I would do if I was you. If I wanted to meet, because I ain't got time to be kind of, bro. You ain't got time to be like meeting them and then find out they got kids and meeting them. Man, I'll cut all that. I go on the day now. Put the ages I'm looking for. I'm looking for 27 to 42. No children. Bam. That way you could just cut all the bull and go on dates, and you can set the dates up for when you are work and end all the nonsense. You ain't got to run to no clubs, none of that. And there's some good women on the day now. They desperate, they thirsty, they can't find nobody, so they go to the apps. They go to the apps. That's what I would do, Big Barnett. I'll go to the apps on my soul. I would go to the apps. I would not be trying to weed through who ain't got no kids. And boy, it's a whole bunch of women gonna pop up. Watch some stars too. Watch. You probably be like, I should have been did this. Yeah, he could date younger. Like you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of women, it's okay. I was 45. I was with a woman 20. I was 40. I was with a woman 25. It wasn't a lot of difference between us until she got until I got 60. And when I got 60, then that's when it was a difference. And she was 45. That's when the lifestyles be different. But the lifestyles ain't too much different early like that. The lifestyles ain't that much different. Ain't no big difference between a 41-year-old man and a 25-year-old woman. Not really. Not socially like that. It's basically all still doing all the same things. That would be a way to cut corners, though. Just go to the app. Then you ain't got to be worrying about it. Everybody you date is a qualified candidate. Cut all the nonsense. That's what I would do. I bet you find somebody too. Cause I got some lady friends of mine I know, and they on the dating apps, and they looking for somebody bad. It's a lot of single women out here. You said it's still hard on them dating sites. I ain't never been on one. The WE58. You said I don't know. I don't know. I ain't never. I ain't. I don't know. I ain't never been on one. Yeah, I ain't never been on no dating site or nothing like that. That's probably tripped out. I'm the type of person would get on there just socially, just to see socially, but not really trying to get a date. I mean, let me see. I'll sign up. Let me see what this, because I be wanting to see stuff. You know what I'm saying? I can see myself getting on the dating site to see how it work and shit, but not to really date nobody. I probably should do that and talk about it on my live. Okay, I'm joining the dating site. Let me see. I don't know. With all these single women out here should be, yeah, that probably is weird. I had to check it out. See, me at 65, if I want to get in a relationship, it's easy. All I got to do is go to certain areas where the older people hang out. That's it. Certain lounges and stuff like that. Certain functions. That's all I got to do. It's about a billion women, a billion. I can have my picking. Yeah, well, you'll be able to go build it on your own. You know what I'm saying? You got to fight for what you want if that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? You got the right to fight for what you want. If that's what you want to do, go make it happen. But make it happen now while you 41, 42. You know what I'm saying? I need to go on the dating sites to do some lives about the dating sites, but as far as me, like, okay, I'm 60, I'm 67. I can get in a relationship easy because it's a whole bunch of single older women, millions. So all I would have to do is go to the functions where they be at. That's it. Some stars too, some fine women. 67, 68. They like kept their body up. They got bodies like 30-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of them. And then I don't got a lot of competition because a lot of the older brothers have passed away or they too sick. They ain't in shape. They ain't no good. They drank themselves to death and this and that. Or they, you know what I'm saying? Some people act like it's a crime to want that. I mean, I wouldn't say it's no crime or nothing like that. Everybody want what they want. So I wouldn't say it's no crime or nothing wrong with you wanting that. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it was no crime. You got some type of idea about family that you want to do. If you don't do it that way, you're not going to be happy. You know what I'm saying? So you want to have a wife and children, your own children, and a family. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the dating site is the best way to go. So you can eliminate. You gotta eliminate no children. Boom. Because other than that, that's why I was tripping, uh, Big Barnett. Because I'm like, that's too hard. What you gotta do? Because you gotta meet this woman. Then you gotta get to meet her. Then you gotta ask her, do she got children? Yeah. Then you gotta go meet another one. You gotta ask her, you got children? Yeah. But see, if you go to the dating site, it's gonna just show you the women that don't have no children. So that's gonna eliminate all of that and make it boom, boom, boom. Now, yeah, you can make it happen with the dating site quick too. You just gotta experiment with. Typically, though, from what I understand, the dating site for men looking for women is great. The dating site with women looking for men is the horror story. Trying to find men on the dating app is a horror story. Trying to find women is like a gold mine. It's like a billion of them. This is what people have told me. Because the women, the one I know that just have a horrible time on the dating site, they meeting straight weirdos. You know what I'm saying? Now you see that's where you be asking for too much. You know what I'm saying? Bro, when you when you try to find a woman, don't say all that. That's too much. If she work a job, let her work her job, bro. It's like you coming off a little controlling. You know what I'm saying? You coming off a little controlling because it's like, okay, uh, now she got to have her own and all this. And it's just like, bruh, I guess. I mean, a career, a job, she could just work, bro. Because you said, like myself and have her own like me. And it's like, that's too much. She should be able to work a job. That you got too many requirements. You know what I'm saying? Your requirements should be simple. No children. That's it. He got too many requirements. It don't sound like he would be it doesn't sound like, with all due respect, he would be a pleasant husband to me because he's a little demanding. Okay, he's a little demanding. He wants too much. And imagine if she said, "Well, I need a man that was home at night." See what I'm saying? So it's like he wants this stuff, but he can't be home at night. And so if she played hardball with him, think about if most of the women say, "I need a man that's going to be home with me every night." No, you ain't got to bend your standards. You're not bending your standards. You're just single with no children. Your standards ain't working though. Keep them like that. All I'm saying is you just too demanding. There's standards on both sides. You understand? She might got required. That is a lot of requirements. You're making the requirements. You're making the requirements because you was fine, but then you said she got to have her own, just like you. So then wipe out a whole bunch of other people because a lot of people don't have their own. You're rare. A lot of men don't have their own. So if we're talking about a pool, and I say I want a lot of women, I want women, but they can't have no children. I'm 45. I'm 41. She got to own her own business. Now, what woman that's got no children, that's got her own business, would be bothered with you? Because the women that's got these requirements can say, no, you're never home at night. So just the fact that you're never home at night, but you're strict on your requirements, but the woman's got to bend and her husband never gonna be home at night. And so if a woman play hardball like you and say, no, he got to be home at night, you lose. So what? Because already you might date and stuff, but not being home at night, this is your pick. I can tell you right now that whoever you date without that app is going to be cool. But when they find out that they got to be at home by themselves, still, and then they want a man at home and they going to say the same thing you saying. They want it how they want it. I don't know about all that. You know what I'm saying? Psychiatrists would say your past experiences that you got some type of trauma. You carrying baggage. You call it experience, but professional people that deal with mental would say you're carrying baggage. You're bringing baggage to the relationship. And then if I was dealing with you as a psychiatrist, I would say, what else? I would try to find out all your baggage. What's your other? You see what I'm saying? I'll try to find out just how much baggage you got because typically people like you got a whole lot of other demands. Because I don't know if you noticed, you dropped that last demand. I don't know if you know what you're looking like, but we was already working and we felt like you had a lot of demands, right? So that did seem a little weird. And then all of a sudden, after we thought we had demands, then you said you added, and she got to have her own, just like me. At that point, that's a little fanatical. You dropped another demand that we haven't even talked about all night. All night we talked to you. And then right when we try to get a solution and we say, you can go to the dating site, you're like, and she got to have her own just like me. It's like, oh, okay. All right. What, you got any other demands? It sounds like a bit much. But anyway, I don't think I want to talk about that too much no more because it's getting a little weird. A businesswoman or career with kids won't tell you what they have because they know that's how you think. Assure you, of course, you don't believe it's a lie. Women can have certain demands that will automatically eliminate you, though. Like, I need a man at home every night. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That your demands might be the opposite of their demands. But there is issues there. You do have issues. You have issues, that's for sure. A woman's got to put up with your issues because you definitely got issues. That's why you single. See, you single because you got issues. You 41 and you single. And it ain't because of women. It's because of you. It's issues with you. You got issues. I could see. You got issues, serious issues. Selfish, for sure. You're definitely selfish. It's got to be your way. You have demands, which I wouldn't want my daughter being bothered with. It's not requests, it's not workout, it's demands. You have demands. You don't have no children. You're 41 years old. 41 years old, no children, not married. And you got all these to list. No, he's not going to be able to change. He's got issues. Y'all, you can see he's got issues. He's got issues. What he's looking, I don't believe he's ever going to find what he's looking for. Okay. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen because that last demand, that was weird. I ain't going to lie. That was psychologically. If you analyze him psychologically, you'll be like, what? We've been over here talking to him for a minute. And it seemed like right when he got to some type of point where it looked like we could help him, he said, and she gonna have to have her own, just like me. Which is crazy. I got no other words to say but that. That's absolutely crazy. She's got to do all this shit, and she got to be just like him when you looking for somebody, right, that's gonna want to get with a 40-year-old man. You don't want her to have no children. Boom, right? And then you want her to be just like you. But you ain't just like her. You know what I'm saying? He's nothing like them. He's not talking about making no changes for them. He's talking about everybody got to follow his rules like some kind of drill sergeant. So there's no room for the woman to want anything because it's all about just what he wants and how he wants it and the situations he been through. See, I know psychiatry. So I hear the problems. No, I've been through things with women already. See all of that? I heard all that. It's like, oh, okay. I got in the past. I dealt with things in the past and this or that. You, bruh, I'm not disrespecting you. I'm telling you the facts. You said you got issues, bro. You already said I already been through that with women. That's an issue. That don't mean you crazy. You got issues. You got issues, bro. This shit sound crazy. I ain't lied to you all this time. Shit sound crazy to me. It was a little weird, but when you said, and she gotta have her own just like me, that's fucking crazy. Okay? Yeah, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy. Okay, yeah, you liked it when I kept it real all the time. This is what they say. People don't want me to keep it real. That was crazy. Okay, bro. After I spent all this time talking to you, then you're gonna drop some another requirement. You know what I'm saying? I spent all this time talking to him, and then he said, "Oh, I got another requirement." Like, well, bro, why you just give us all the requirements at the beginning? Y'all didn't see that? He sat here having us going around and around with him with all these requirements, right? And then at the end, then he said, and after hours of talking to him, he basically wastes our time and drops some other bullshit out there that sounds crazy, sounds demanding, sounds like a headache. What woman gonna want to be bothered with that? You know what I'm saying? That was crazy. What you want me to tell you, bro? That was crazy. If you function like that, you ain't gonna find nobody. You get with a woman and say, listen, I want you to cook and I want you to clean. She said, how much you want me to clean? I want you to clean 4 days a week. It got to be clean. And y'all go back and forth. And she said, all right, I'm a cook, I'm a clean. Then you say, and, right? Oh, no. Y'all go back and forth. Check this out. He go back and forth with her. I want you to cook and to clean. I want you to clean 4 days a week. So you go back and forth with her, back and forth with her. Finally, she agreed. Okay, I'll cook and I'll clean 4 days a week. Then he says, and you got to do the same thing I do. So she gonna be like, that man had us go round and round, and then he said, and she gotta have her own business like I do. In other words, I don't want no fucking woman. I'm just making up some bullshit, right? I'm making up I'm making up a make believe chick that I'm putting together in my motherfucking mind. You know what I'm saying? She gonna go to the moon, and then she gonna fly a rocket ship, and then she gonna make pizzas every Friday. And tripping on me because you done wasted my motherfucking time. Wasting my time. Man, listen. This the internet. That man don't want no woman. I'm done with it. If somebody else got something to talk about, change the subject. That man full of shit. Man, listen, dude is full of shit. Okay? Dude is 41 years old with no woman because he's a weirdo. He be on bullshit. Okay? He's a fucking weirdo. Okay? I don't appreciate nobody wasting my time over here with no bullshit long conversation. This man might be lying. None of this shit might not be true. All this shit might be bullshit. It might be just some nut on the motherfucking internet. This shit might be all some bullshit. I'm done with it. Somebody got something else they want to talk to because I was supposed to be talking to another brother about how to track a woman, and this dude jumped in. And then this dude jumped in with all this bullshit, wasting time. Like, nigga, lay your demands down early. I'll be popping up no more demands at the end. The fuck? I'm through with dude. Listen, matter of fact, nigga, come back tomorrow. Bring your ass back tomorrow. Okay? I got demands too. I need a nigga to lay all their demands out, nigga. I got demands. Nigga, say it with your chest. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out of here. I got demands too. Get the fuck out of here. I've been doing this a long time. Who was with me when the crazy dude was calling that time? Said he lived and he was on the phone and he did, and his auntie and all them threw him out. Was y'all there when we got the other one? Every now and then we get these kind and they be all night and they talk back and forth. That man's full of shit. That man's a 41-year-old nut. That man crazy. You seen all that? You seen all that? Typing back to back, back to back. You ain't got time for that bullshit. Look, he came back on another page. See? See? He got 2 or 3 accounts. This nigga's a hacker. See? Well, Big Barnett 83. Oh, he got 2 accounts. Oh, what? Wait a minute. I don't know. Crazy as hell. Unbelievable. Some type of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It was getting crazier and crazier, and I was wondering, wait a minute. It was getting crazier and crazier. I tried to work with the brother. I figured this is a brother. What was my thoughts on the new couples that want to be married but live in separate houses? I think for a couple to get together and live in separate houses, I think they make wasting money. Why would you waste that money? So I don't know. I don't know why you would waste that money. I don't know why you would heat 2 homes and have gas at 2 homes and have electric at 2 homes. Uh, I don't. That doesn't make much sense. I don't know what's the benefit. What do they say the benefit is, Reverend Tim? What's the benefit? Why do they do it? What's the benefit? You know, I wouldn't know what the benefit. We married, but you live over there and I live over here. I don't know. I don't know what the benefit would be. If it was economical and we just want to have 2 houses that we'll both have when, to sell or something, maybe for property. If we want to own property, I guess maybe. I don't know. I don't know. What's my thought on the man being a provider and paying all the bills? Uh, the man being a provider, I think that if you was going to get married only based on the man that could pay all the bills, less people would be married. So that a young man that works at McDonald's that likes a young woman, he wouldn't be able to be married. So you wouldn't have no marriages. You would have to make a certain amount of money to get married. So I don't. When you read the Bible to get married, it don't say that. I don't see where it say that. So the idea of the man being a provider. I don't know. When I was coming up, all the women went to work. My mama worked and my daddy worked. Mr. Smith worked and Mrs. Smith didn't, but Mr. Wills worked and Mrs. Wills worked. When I grew up, everybody worked, the mamas and the daddy. So I don't know where they make that kind of shit up at. So the idea that the man got to be the provider sounds like some type of economical discrimination. That's what it sounds like. Because if you got a minority race and they up under white supremacy and the whites can have all the best jobs, then it would make the black men not able to really do what the white man could do. So if the person makes the most money can have a better marriage and a better family, that could be manipulated races with through racism. Sounds like it, black people that push that sound like idiots. You know, it sounds like idiots like that. Like they still want to have personal space. Yeah, I guess you can have two bedrooms and have personal space. I don't know why you would need a whole house. I don't know. It sounds crazy. But as far as a man paying all the bills, that's economical discrimination. They talk about a man should pay all the bills, but they don't talk about fair. They don't talk about all men getting a decent wage. So unless you talk about all men getting a decent wage and availability for all men to make good money, to talk about those with good money should be the only ones that's married is a discrimination. And it's judging somebody by the amount of money they make. But a man that makes a lot of money that can pay all the bills, that don't mean he a good husband because all these rich people getting divorced all the time. So show me where that's a good husband. That doesn't make a good husband because if so, all these rich Hollywood dudes wouldn't be getting divorced. They got enough money to pay everything. So how does that make a good marriage? It doesn't. And then why would you want to pay the bills, all the bills to a woman that could divorce you or still take half? Sound like bullshit to me. If I pay all the bills and we if I pay all the bills and we get a divorce, she should get the fuck out. The girl said, I have to be the provider and leader. Well, tell her to get out and you lead yourself. Tell her that the door hit her where the good Lord split her. Tell the bitch to go out there and find one. Tell that bitch to go find what she looking for. Shit. And you wish her all the luck in the world. Because that's what I would tell man. I agree. You need that, babe. I hope you find it. That's what I would tell man. You sure need a man to pay all the bills. And good luck. I really wish the best for you. I hope you find him. Oh, you talk about me? You wanted me to do it? Bitch, you crazy. Even if I made a lot of money, I'm not finna have no lazy hoe sit around here and I'm paying everything. You crazy? Girl, you gonna contribute. I hope you don't think that pussy is paying anything, okay? This whole idea that pussy is that valuable is some bullshit. I don't know how pussy is more valuable than dick anyway. When dick the one shoot stuff out, ain't nothing come out pussy. I mean, she might squirt, but it don't go in me. Shit, sperm go in her. I give her sperm. What she give me? Whatever. When you start talking about economical and you saying the man should pay all the bills, just say rich people should be the only ones married. Well-to-do people, doctors, and people that's architects and people that make a whole lot of money should be the only ones that get married. But if I got to go work overtime and I never get to home be with home my wife because she want me to pay all the bills, I don't know. Sound crazy to me. Sound like people just making up shit. Just making it up, just putting it out their ass. A man should be the strong provider and shit, but then a woman don't listen to you. What about all the rules with the women? They say that's old shit. They don't do that. So you just want the old way paying everything, but you don't want to shut your ass up and go cook and do what the fuck you supposed to do, which ain't equal to no bills. There's nothing a woman can do that would equal working all day and paying the bills. That's not even. So you saying the man should do the most in a relationship. The relationship ain't 50-50. Because it ain't nothing a woman can do. Stand at home while you working that can equal you working unless she is raising kids. And that's babies. Because once them baby kids could go to school, she ain't doing shit. They at school. So I can see her standing home while she got just had the baby. But as far as a chick just sitting her ass at home and talk about I need to go and bring all the money back so she can sit her ass at home, and I'm at work, so she ain't. I don't get no lunch and shit. Come on, man. What's that? Slavery? She got to keep a roof over her head just like I got to keep one over mine. She need to help. And that extra money, we could be using it for something. Why would we just do everything on my money, no matter how much money I'm making? Two heads is better than one. She better go out there and get some money too. In other words, a woman should be lazy because that's the opposite of that. A woman should sit her funky ass at home and be lazy. I don't know what you're gonna do, man. Them people all in your business. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta figure that out. You know what I'm saying? They playing with you. Cause if our brothers came to me and say, where y'all gonna live and shit, where y'all gonna live, when my sister gonna live, I'm saying, gonna stay with your bitch ass. Nigga, get the fuck out of my face talking to me like that. Nigga. I wish my woman brother would try to push on me and ask me a bunch of shit. I'd be like, you can keep this hoe over here. This you can take your sister and stick up your ass. The fuck, get the fuck out. I don't want to marry her anyway. Y'all niggas is be all in our business. They just letting you know they gonna be all in y'all business. I be the upped on her brothers. Don't worry about where your sister gonna live. Worry about what's gonna happen to you. You get back in my motherfucking face. Then her brothers park you like that. You know what I'm saying? That shit crazy. You let them people be in your business. How you gonna provide for my sister? Listen, I ain't never got in my brother-in-law face about him and my sister's relationship. That shit ain't none of my business. That ain't none of my business what my brother-in-law dealing with. They doing too much. They don't like you. That's what's up. They just told you they don't like you, Sam. That's what they just told you. We don't like you. We really don't want our sister with you. They think you a bum. You know what I'm saying? They think you ain't got your shit together. Now, maybe you don't got your shit together. I don't know. But they thinking you ain't got no money, right? They're like, you ain't got no money. Where the fuck my sister gonna live with you? So it's something you doing where they thinking you ain't got nothing. Now I don't know where they got that from, but some kind of way they feel like you ain't got no money because they would know she gonna live with you. So where you live at, you must not live nowhere where she could live. Why would they say that? So wherever you live at now, they feel like, well, she can't live here. So where y'all gonna live at? What you do? You stay with them or something? Something ain't right. So they just ain't saying a man provider. They was talking to you. Okay, now I get it. They was talking to you. They don't think you stand on nothing. So they was like, a man should be a provider. That was okay. They was talking to you. There's some issues going on with you. Oh, I get it. They don't like you. They feel like you ain't doing something. What's your name? Sam 187? They got some kind of issues with your living conditions. And they don't want their sister marrying you under your conditions, whatever they are. They're like, my sister, you can't even take care of my sister. You gotta be able to take care of her. So there's some issues. You telling on yourself. They be over here telling. They be telling on themselves. He just told on himself. Oh man, this internet is something else. Man, listen, I don't know. Something over there. Some going on, some going on over there, but the brothers checked him like, listen, boy, you know what I'm saying? Where you gonna live at? That tells the whole story right there. Why they ask you where you gonna live? Where you live at? What's really going on? Man, keep it a Billy. Her brother's told pushed up on her. They don't like you though. Anytime the family's involved on any type of negativity in your relationship, they don't like you. And even if you get together, it's gonna be a long, hard relationship when the family don't like you. Because they definitely don't like you. That's the worst in a relationship is when they don't like you, when the family don't like you. It's the horrible. When you're a man. When you're a woman, it's not that bad because the man can kind of keep you away from his family, right? So if I got with a woman and my mom and daddy don't like her, they really can't say too much because me being a man, I'm gonna shut that down, right? But when the woman's family don't like you, she can't shut them down, and they just overpower and they be all at you, and they will hate you for the entire relationship. I've been in a relationship like that where the family just did not like me. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't did nothing to them. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't did nothing to them people. You know, you have situations where you meet a girl and the family ain't nowhere around. Family ain't doing nothing for her. Then you start dealing with it. They find out she with you. Now the family start popping up. Where y'all was at all these months? When I first started dating her, y'all didn't give a damn about her. Now all of a sudden y'all see she with a man. Now it's because a lot of people get crazy when a woman get a man. Ladies, you got to watch people that criticize your relationship because they don't like to see a woman get a man and be happy. A lot of people don't like that. They'll try to ruin your marriage. They'll try to do everything. A lot of women go for it too, especially if she in a family with a bunch of other single women and aunties and shit. And every misery love company. So when you with a woman and so it's women in her family that's miserable, single, they're gonna be constantly trying to destroy your relationship because you the only ones got a relationship in the family, and then they want to destroy it. Happens all the time. I don't get involved in my children's relationships like that. You would have to cross over into business for me to get involved. But if you ain't interfering with business, I don't ask nothing about their relationships. I don't put my nose in their relationship. They got in relationships and they got to figure it out. With the girls, all I'd want to do is meet the men in case I had to come holler at you. That's it. I get my point across just by meeting you. That's it. And my absence is says it all. You know what I'm saying? You don't want daddy to show up. So that's on you if I gotta show up. Other than that, I don't put my nose into nobody's relationships. So yeah, if they been hating on you, that they got the nerve to come ask you that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You'll figure it out. Yes, Sam, you'll figure it out. That's how relationships be. Everybody be in your business when you got a relationship. People be in your business. They don't know how to mind their own business, a lot of them. And they put the pressure on the relationship, make the relationship more difficult than what it is. I don't get in my daughter's relationships. No, it ain't none of my business. As long as they ain't beating them up or putting their hands on them, it is what it is. I don't want to know nothing about their relationships. They have to keep that stuff to themselves. Because you get in somebody's relationship and then they turn on you. And so I'll stay out of it. I ain't never got in my sister's relationships in my life. Her and her husband been married many years, but when they first was dating, I ain't never said nothing to my sister's husbands or got in a relationship business or nothing like that. That ain't really none of my business about who her boyfriend is or husband or none of that. I never got involved with that. I mind my business. Yeah, I mind my business. You know what I'm saying? I don't mix up with my sister and her husband like that. You know, that's his wife now. All that, my sister, that's his wife first, then my sister. That's why she got his last name. She ain't got my mom and daddy last name no more. Once a woman go and take another man's name, then that's the family she belonged to. That's why I say you want to give your daughter away, right? You give her away in marriage. Now, people should mind their business when it comes to relationships. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be jumping into that. You shouldn't be jumping to other people's relationships. That's rude. Just mind your business and stay out of their affairs. On the other hand, if you got a relationship and you keep telling your family, and then your family get in your business, how you gonna be mad at them when you the one put them in your business? You should have never put them in your business in the first place. Basically, but relationships are hard to maintain over the years with so much different economical stuff and medical situations and age and family and relatives, housing, and so much be going on. It puts some stress on a relationship for sure. So you really have to be strong. You know what I mean? But that answers all of that tonight. A brother wants to know how to attract women. You don't attract women, you have to pull women. You have to talk to them. You have to let them know you're interested. You just can't go by your looks. You can't just go by your car and your jewelry. You have to have the gift of gab, and you have to be able to talk to them. You have to pull them in. You can't depend on them just coming to you and you just attracting them. That's not how it works. Even if they pay you some attention, you still gotta pull them in. You might have the clothes or whatever, and they come close, but then you gotta pull them in. But you should never buy clothes, shoes, cars, or nothing for women. You should always buy it for you. You should never buy cars because you're gonna get women. You should buy a car you like. You should wear clothes you like. Because when you start doing things for women, you become an unfit husband anyway. Because now, once you get a wife, you're going to still be doing stuff to get attention from other women. And you're going to be just nothing but a cheap whore. You don't need all that attention from the women. When you see men that just crazy about attention from women, that's because they didn't get no attention for so long that when they finally get a chance, they act like a fool. That's basically what that is. So you are not supposed to be spending your day trying to appeal to women. You should be, doing whatever you like. Buying the jacket because you like the jacket. Buying the shoes because you like the shoes. Buying the car because you like the car. Don't buy no car because women gonna like the car. Buy the car because you like the car. And then whatever comes with that comes with that. But don't be one of these weirdos out here doing everything for women, because those type of people never end up happy with women. They always end up in a bunch of trouble when it comes to women, because they just got women, 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 women on their mind. Anytime you find a man that just wants attention from women and chase women, he has mental issues. He has self-esteem issues. He's trying to sleep with a lot of women to fix something that's wrong. There's something wrong with him. And a man like that gonna give you herpes, HIV, because something wrong with him. He trying to prove something. He's trying to prove something. Every woman he sleep with, he feel like it's a notch under his belt. And this is why relationships messed up now. Because your daughter get out here and some guy talk to her, and she fall in love with him. But to him, she just was a notch under his belt. He ain't think about your daughter. You just want another notch under your belt, and that's gonna ruin the black family. That's gonna ruin black people. Because these brothers out here just trying to see how many women they can sleep with. They ain't trying to be no husbands and no fathers. They just out here with low ass self-esteem, trying to use women as a way to prove they did something. That's why they be trying to talk about how good the sex was they was with a woman. Like nut shit. Like turn, you know, reprocreation into some clown stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just turning everything negative. It's crazy. The divorce rate going through the roof, but they doing all that weirdo shit. They stay married 3 years, divorce, 5 at the most. Well, they can't even stay married 10 years. They divorce. They can't trust each other. Everybody smack cheating. All the wives out there sleeping on the husbands. All these men out here trying to talk to another man, woman. How low? Come on, man. There ain't no way in the world I'm trying to talk to some woman that's with him. Ain't no way. That's the craziest. That's lunacy. I want to sleep behind him. I can't wait to sleep behind him. That is the craziest shit ever. Here's a whole bunch of single women with no man. I don't want them. I want his woman behind him. That's crazy. And the young people, they want to brag about it. They brag about sleeping with a woman you were sleeping with. They think that's, I don't know what the hell they think it is. They think they scoring. They think they winning because that's like, how is that a win? What did you win? How I sleep with somebody else's woman, how is that a win? What do I win? I'm confused. I'm confused. I don't know how that's a great thing. I don't know what I benefit from that. I don't know how that's something to brag about. Hey man, I slept with your woman. What? That's a bragging? That's what? So look, I'm gonna let y'all go. That's what I think about all that. Y'all stay positive. You know what I mean? Keep the relationships alive. You know what I'm saying? Victory.